Queen Kong.
You're listening to the Boxing Voice.
It's showtime! Welcome back, boxing fans.
Blood is good.
Fireface, a mask of blood.
Blood is emotion.
Too much blood coming out of the eye.
Blood is a story, a drama.
Deep gash, blood pouring right into his eye.
Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion.
Blood streaming now from the cut in the eye, the nose, the mouth, the cheeks swollen, and he's still going.
What we want is a bloody good fight tonight.
You're listening to the Boxing
We
Voice.
have Heather, the Heat Hardy. Is this you?
This is me. I think I need to talk to you every night because you make me smile. What? Over here.
Never been the rainbow. Never been the rainbow. Yeah, I love the trick. I'm okay.
You're serious? You're serious?
And that's the good thing about UK. That's why I can't hate on them guys, man. They love fucking boxing.
No fighters in England. They all bums.
Did you hear what this idiot just said?
Yo, son, you're gonna get your ass beat by Molina, son.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's overrated.
Get some pushes from me right now.
For the interview?
Yes. Let those gifted hands go. Get out of here, Virgil. Go home.
Thaboxingvoice.com.
This is why we use the word sensation. Never been the rainbow. Never been the rainbow. Yeah, I love the trick. I'm okay.
You're serious? You're serious?
And that's the good thing about UK. All right, had a few technical difficulties there. Got the wife interrupting me. Okay, so let's just get right into it, man. A lot of stuff to talk about. Not a lot of fights happening, man. Not a lot of fights happening. But we got, I mean, for us hardcores, we're out there. We're going to get the return of Mike Jones. You know, that was always a pretty good welterweight. You know, he kind of blew his load in the Jesus Soto Carras fight. And came back, rematched Carras, looked good. You know, and then he had that issue with Randall Bailey, man. And Randall Bailey, you know, might be old, but he's always gonna have a punch. This dude's been having a punch his entire life, and I mean, Devin Alexander had to hold him. Remember that fight? That took place in the Barclays. So yeah, man, it's ugly. Got a few things we need to mention. Definitely want to shout out a few of you guys that have been emailing. Antonio, Carlos Rodriguez, Sam Holden, Christian from Stay Faded Clothing. Christian's got his own little t-shirt company going on, and we're going to help him out here because he's a listener, dude. He's been listening and everything, and they started something. So he's going to give me more information, and he's going to, you know, send me some shirts to show you guys and stuff, and, you know, definitely support him, boxing fan. Definitely a boxing fan. We chopped it up yesterday. But 6-2, the number, not the name, not the word, the number. Oh, and Black Caesar, shout out to you, another guy that emailed. So remember, guys, we're gonna always take your emails. We're always gonna respond. I don't know what the other guys are doing. I'm just giving these people my number. I ain't got time to be writing emails. We could just talk. I love to talk boxing. So shout out to all you guys. Nick Green, shout out to Nick Green, man. Jesus, he's going in for that Mayweather glove. So you know, just letting you guys know. But you already know, if you want to be involved in the Floyd Mayweather Jr. signed glove giveaway, head on over to theboxingvoice.com. There's a donate button there. You're going to send $1.40. It's going to be $40 goes to PayPal for their fees and $1 to buy more gloves, to get more autographs, to do this again. So we're doing the Floyd Mayweather Jr. autograph signed glove. I keep looking back there because it's back there. And yeah, we'll be giving away that glove on the Sunday. Of course, shout out to my 3 sponsors. I'm going to speed it up. Audible, On, and Fast Break. 973-497-7000. Your freedom call, definitely. Listen, call to action here. And you guys really did it on that last Porter Brook show. Thank you very much to all of you guys that liked. Was a bunch of comments. And, of course, subscribe to the channel, man, because not only do we have this podcast, I do massive amounts of videos. You know, the Boxing Voice is out there 24/7. I hope. I wish. But we are out there heavy, you know, and that could be shown with our YouTube channel and our website, man. You know, constant, consistent interviews, daily. I'm getting these dudes. I was actually talking to a few people today, but nothing's more important. And again, you guys know I'm very optimistic. I'm optimistic. Remember when I put all my love and into Al Heyman, thinking he was going to be the savior of boxing? Well, guess what? I got another savior, and this guy, I'm going to put my all into him too. Jay-Z. You know, for those that don't know, that haven't visited Thaboxingvoice.com, Jay-Z and his Rock Nation Sports and sports company, they bid $1,904,840 to promote the Peter Quillin versus Matt Korobov fight. Now, 1.9 million. You might as well just say it was 1.9.5 or whatever, however you do it. But let's just go with 1.9. Top Rank, who promotes Korobov, they only bid $515,000. The minimum bid was $200,000. So you know they wasn't even trying to play. They didn't want to promote this fight, and they didn't want to promote this fight so much so that they denied to do negotiations with Golden Boy, because you don't have to go to purse bid. You can come up with a solution amongst the two guys and get it done. So I called because this topic interests the shit out of me. Unfortunately, I don't even think that the story's out, but I've already done the fucking work, and I could tell you. So when this shit broke, I contacted Bob, and I'm talking to Bob, and I asked him because, again, remember, they're having us believe that the Cold War is over or that it's thawing out, and possibly we could get this Top Rank Golden Boy fight, and the fucking grass will be green and the sky will be blue, and I'd be driving a Lamborghini. But when I talked to Bob, I said, Bob, the rumor is that you didn't want to negotiate, and he's like, it's not a rumor. As long as basically, anyway, the audio's gonna be up. I already even have it on YouTube. It's set to private, right? It's set to private because, again, we're waiting for the story to come out on the website. But I'm gonna put the audio out, and you're gonna hear him. He's basically gonna say that I asked him this specifically: would you do business with Golden Boy if Al Heyman wasn't there? And he said, yeah. He says that the only reason they didn't do this fight is because of that, because Peter Quillin has Heyman issues. But I talked to Pete too, and it's a win-win for him, dude. Golovkin hasn't gotten this much for a fight. He's having a baby. So he's kind of focused on that, but he knows about Jay-Z doing that, and he went into depth as to why he thinks he did it. Of course, for me, I'm just assuming it's got to be the Brooklyn thing. You want to sell the Brooklyn thing so you can fill up the Barclays Center. Your Jay-Z, you already fill it up, but you got to get the fight fan in there. So you're going with a guy that from your hometown, because he had plenty of opportunities to do this. You see, this news is bigger than what you guys think. Like, nobody knew this was happening, The WBO had a purse bid. I think the purse bid was, oh my God, I can't believe we don't have that information here. You can look it up. But the WBO had a purse bid, and then a representative for Rock Nation showed up. Now, remember, the WBO is Puerto Rico. So they had this plan. They had to have a flight, book, hotel, all that. They knew exactly what they were doing. And clearly, with the amount I asked Bob that too. Like, did he think that this amount was excessive? Because shit, he bid 700,000 more than Golden Boy, and 1,200. I mean, excuse me. He bid like 700,000 more than Golden Boy and 1.2 more than Top Rank. So they really wanted this fight. Why? I don't know. You know, we can all play conspiracy theorists here. And I would love to see what you guys think. I actually wanted to do a show on this days ago, just on this topic, because again, this is big, man. Look, we need a win as boxing fans. We need a win. We need a win as boxing fans. We need somebody that can help us take this sport mainstream. Why not? Mainstream. You know how much it costs to get to half of these fights? So if we could make this a little more accessible, put it on a bigger stage where the sponsors are paying for things, it alleviates all that they take from us. Because they take them from us because ain't nobody else giving them at the end of the day. I mean, why else are they keep raising the fucking pay-per-view price? I don't get it. Man, I remember when pay-per-view was like $40. Not too long ago, I felt like it was 59. When I was in my apartment, I felt like it was 59. And now it's at $79, $75. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. So we definitely need this type of win, man. And look, this is not 50 Cent, okay? Because anybody that follows the hip-hop scene, you already know he crushed 50 Cent from the beginning anyway, just lyrically. And he's successful. He's also crushed 50, you know? He's just more successful. Financially, he's crushed 50. And he's this company, Rock Nation, again, if you do your research, which I had to do. I had to do that. I didn't know about this shit either. It was all news to me. I don't watch any other sports, so I didn't know who Kevin Durant was. I knew who Robinson Cano was because we were neighbors at one point. But you know, Victor Cruz, I don't know none of these people that he's already worked with and done tremendous things with. But now look, this gets even better. This gets even better, dude, because all this time, like, you know, I'm reading everybody's story because I believe I might have been ESPN. I think it was actually Dan Rayfield that broke the news that you know, The Rock actually bid. But the point is that they were using the name, let me see if I can find it here. It's Skauskowicz or something a lot. So, of course, because I can't even pronounce his last name, it's like going in one eye and out the other eye, if that it can even happen, you know? But then when I did an image search, dude, I know the guy. I've seen him. I don't know him like that, like I know you guys. But, you know, I've seen him numerous times at the fights. Turns out this dude he spent his last 6 years as Golden Boy COO. But when I spoke to him at the time, he told me that, like, he was the VP of New York, East Coast. Whatever the case may be, he works for Jay-Z. Okay? So, clearly, they got some hired guns here, you know. So Carl Moretti of Top Rank, you know, he's the VP of Top Rank, so he was at the purse bidding in Puerto Rico, you know, for the WBO or wherever it was held at, whatever. I think it was Puerto Rico for the one I remember. So he was even surprised. The reaction from Golden Boy was positive, of course, because, you know, that's their fighter, and it's going to be the biggest payday of his career because 75% of that 1.9 million goes to Peter Quillen. He's like a couple of thousand away from 1.5 for this fight. 1.5. So this is huge for him, and for all you Quillen haters, that audio's going up too. Yo, you gotta hear what he says, man. Like, the dude, he's like, yo, Ness, with this money, now I could train for real if I wanted to. I could call for sparring partners from Russia, from wherever. He could pay for that now. So maybe he wasn't, you know, doing it like that. You know, maybe, you know, having all these different promoters and, you know, managers and things like that, these things take chunks out of fighters' money, man. But rest assured that this is going to be a serious training camp for him. So I hope that Matt Korbov is a good fighter. I've only seen him that one time on HBO a couple days ago, like, so I don't know. But Peter is gonna be ready, and I and the rest of the Boxing Voice team who helped on this is gonna bring you that story compiled as one, but also put the audio out there, you know, because we never want to leave any doubt that anything we say here is fucking fiction or non-fiction. We want straight facts, the real. We only gonna give you the real. And whenever I start playing with you, then you'll know that. But other than that, I'm gonna always be straightforward with you guys. 619, you're live on the Box Voice. Who's this?
Yeah, what's up, man? That's Ali from Dago.
What's up, Ali?
What's up with you, man? Honestly, man, I really don't have too much to say about this situation. But as far as Jay-Z, I'm happy that Jay-Z's in boxing because I actually think he's going to do better than 50. But
I hope so.
But
again, I hope so.
I'm hoping so. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm really hoping he does. So far, I mean, it looks good with the Quillen thing, you know. So hopefully, but you know, I'm gonna be a little off topic. I know we're here to talk about that, but I want to talk about some shit that's really been irritating me, and that's about when it comes to punchers against fighters who don't punch that hard. But when the fighter that doesn't punch that hard outboxes the puncher, but people always say the same exact thing. They always say, I give it to the puncher because he hit him with the harder shots. When before the fight even started, we already knew who the bigger puncher was. So it's not shocking that the bigger puncher lands the harder shots because we knew that was going to happen regardless. So when perfect example, the Chris Algieri versus Ruslan Provodnikov, even though I know a lot of y'all thought Algieri outclassed him like I did, but a lot of people are saying it was a robbery because, you know, Algieri's eye was closed. He was getting punched, but he was only getting hit by like 3 punches a round with big shots, and he was clearly whooping Ruslan's ass. So, you know, that's pretty much what I want to say. It kind of irritates me when people always look at the big puncher before the fight. They already know he's going to come into the fight as the big puncher, but say he landed the hardest shot. That doesn't make any sense to me. But that's pretty much all I got to say, bro.
Listen, I agree with you. That's a good point, man. It's true. When it's like Canelo and Gulo, it was the bigger puncher was Canelo. And like you said, Algieri, Provodnikov, people do tend to give the bigger puncher credit. I mean, were you correlating that with Porter Brook?
No, I wasn't saying it about the Porter Brook fight, but it's just a thing that been bothering me, and it was finally a time for me to get off my chest.
Okay. Well, man, thanks for
I
calling
I thought Brook won that fight, even though I picked Porter to win. I thought Brook won that fight. Yeah,
me too. He crushed me.
But yeah, I just want people to understand, man. Like you're already judging the guy, but we already know who's the bigger puncher and who's not. So I like the way people make it seem is like the guy who doesn't have the power already lost before he hopped into the ring. If you're going to judge a fight in that particular way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I got, though, bro. But I love the show, man. Keep doing what you do, G.
All right, man. Thank you. Guys, I want to let all you guys that haven't called in, haven't ever pressed 646-478-3068. You guys got to start calling in, man. Getting things off your chest, man. Get things off your chest, and we got a little new sound bite for you. We're gonna work on a better one, but this is what it's gonna be, unless you guys feel like this is one forever. Again, man, this Jay-Z thing is big. I hope that you guys, when you do call in, you have a little more intake on that, or input rather, excuse me. But yeah, man, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this, man. Let me see. 925, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? 925. Okay. 860, you're live. Who's this?
Denise.
Hey, Denise, what's going on?
Oh, man, I haven't been calling lately. I started a new position. Sorry about all of that. But anyway, I've still been following the website. I love the website. Good job.
Thank you.
Also, on the Jay-Z, I'm very excited about it. I really am. Something new and fresh, hopefully to take off. And I tried to get through Sunday to talk about the Brook Porter fight, but I couldn't get through. It was jam-packed.
Yeah, it was a crazy
But
show.
the better man did win, and it's good for boxing that he won. Maybe to take that division up some. They trying to hold everything in one cell. Maybe it'll get shaken up now. So I was excited for that. But also, did you read my comment?
Yes. You mean out loud?
No, on the website.
On the show, you mean?
No, on the article.
Yeah. But I thought you meant that I read it out to everyone else. No, I've read it though.
Oh, good. I just wanted to make sure it got through because I didn't get a chance to really check it to see. But anyway, I'm going to leave it short, and I will be calling back this weekend. And keep up the good work. I love the Boxing Voice. I've been trying to get a lot of my friends to look into the website because they're kind of stuck in whatever caveman websites. But I said they really need to check out the Boxing Voice and check out audible.com because I did do that, and it's awesome.
Thank you, Denise. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yep, so I'm just going to leave it short. I love you guys. I got to get with Vic. I need Vic to email me because I want to write an article. I already got it written down. I just got to piece it together. Vic is on there. I don't know what's wrong with him. He didn't email me.
You got to email the Boxing Voice email.
Oh, okay. That's why. All right. Okay, I'll do that.
Or you can send it to me
All
and
right.
I'll forward it to him. Send it to me and I'll forward it to him.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So can I text you to this number?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll text to the number then.
Okay.
All right.
917, you're live.
Hey man, what's going on? That's Antonio from Albany. What's going on?
Antonio, what up? I got your email.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was during the Brook fight. But man, I just want clarification on this whole Jay-Z promotional thing. I mean, it seems like nowadays, man, everything is becoming like a soap opera, man. Promotional companies are fighting. You know, fighters are suing their promoters. You know, I guess Andre Ward is losing his battle with Goosen. But as far as the Jay-Z thing, I mean, I'm just kind of lost. I mean, is he like becoming a promoter? Is he gonna be like promoting fighters or? Yes.
They got a Nevada license and a New York license, and again, they don't have any fighters, but now they got this dude from Golden Boy. He's been there for a minute now, and this guy has worked. This guy has worked. Scout Switch has worked hand in hand with Lou DiBella when Lou DiBella used to run HBO. This dude got experience.
Yeah, I heard that too. I mean, so you telling me they signed Quillen already?
No. What I'm telling you, that's what I'm telling you. That's how serious they are. That's how serious they are that they don't even have a fighter signed, but they're gonna they involve themselves in this purse bid. Normally, when the purse bid goes up, you know, the promoter of one fighter and the promoter of the other fighter bid. Every now and then you got, you know, in the times when Don King was around, you had maybe 3 people bid, but not someone from an outside entity like this. This is someone outside of boxing, so no one knew, right? So all of a sudden,
that's crazy.
All of a sudden, they bid, they win the bid, and then Dan Rayfield goes digging, and Jay-Z got a fucking license in New York. He got one in Vegas, and he has this whole company set up.
Man, it's crazy though. So basically, they could go ahead and try to fight for a purse bids, right? Let's say, for example, down the road, they want to promote somebody like Daniel Jacobs. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna go after these Brooklyn fighters, right?
Yeah, but the thing is this: it has to be a purse bid. So they're gonna have to start signing fighters, just like 50 did. They're gonna have to. But who knows what they're gonna do next? You know what I'm saying? But I just want to see now how the promotion looks. How does it get advertised to us? How do they sell it to us? Is he gonna do, a lot of radio because his connections with music, because of his wife's connection with HBO? Remember, only HBO aired that Beyonce special, so maybe he knows someone already. And remember, this guy Iskowskowitz used to work for HBO, so maybe they can advertise over there, or the fight lands over there. I'm not saying this fight, but remember that's also an option, because these fighters, no one is tied. It's just like Cotto, for instance. It's up to Golden Boy. It's up to Golden Boy to give it to Showtime, but they could easily say, like, hey, the highest bidder, the highest TV promoter, the TV packager.
That's what I'm saying, man. I just want a clarification about this, and hopefully, we'll see what happens down the road. But before I go, man, just a quick scenario, and I just want your opinion about it. I know this past weekend, Brook beat Porter. Picture this, I guess Brook is fighting in December again. I'm not sure against who, but I did hear on another podcast today an interview with Keith Thurman. That he's a man 100% willing to fight, Brook, but I don't think he's going to fight, by the end of this year because of injuries and stuff like that. But picture this, man. Imagine Brook fighting Khan in December. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but let's say he gets a soft touch.
Because Eddie Hearn said that they're looking at Rios Berto. He already said that Keith Thurman doesn't make sense. There's no money in that. They're going to go the money route when it comes to Thurman. Check out the I Film London video by Coogan. It's like a 44-minute video. It's in the Eddie Hearn office or building, they said, or whatever. And they talk about it there, but there's also mad articles printed already that Hearns already has. Look, he wants Rios, Berto, and I can't remember I think it's like 2 other names. But it's not.
But can you see the scenario where Brook fights Khan, right? He beats Khan because I think he'll knock him out. Khan is always going to have that glass chin, man, no matter what way he fights in. But let's say he fights Khan, beats him. A lot of people have been talking about freaking Khan and Mayweather down the road. I mean, if Brook does beat Khan, I mean, wouldn't that be a bigger fight? Wouldn't Brook take over all Khan's fans, and that would be a big fight next year? Mayweather against Brook.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think
that's
about that?
That's the thing. That's what we said on the last show. That's why I really don't want Khan to fight him. Well, actually, no. Look, I don't mind that. I don't want Khan to fight him because what if Khan wins?
I just don't think he's not going to win, man. But I mean, that's just a scenario, man. Hopefully.
What if he wins though? That's my thing. He ain't did shit. He fought Collazo, so now he gets a Brook fight, beats Brook, and now he got a belt. Now the fight with him and Mayweather is way bigger. They could sell it now. They almost sold it. Remember, 10,000 people voted for him, so they almost sold it the first time. They pulled back. A win with a belt? Come on. And that's what I'm saying. My thing is, had Porter won, he wasn't getting a Mayweather fight. Everybody, all of us wanted Thurman Porter. That's what we wanted. Brook was nothing to us. There's a bunch of y'all, only 7 people picked Brook. 7. Now, there was plenty of people that hit me on Twitter and things like that, but on the show, the tally, hardcores, and people that emailed, okay, that's a little different, but still, Porter was the favorite, bottom line. Not only with us, but with the betting line. So he got to do what fucking Porter. He got to do what Porter was supposed to do. Brook got to do what Porter was gonna do he was going to fight Thurman. He was saying he was going to fight Thurman. He never said nothing about money or nothing like that. He wanted Thurman. The father wanted Thurman. So Brook got to show the same type of balls, man.
Agreed, man. But hey, last thing before I go, because I know you got more phone calls. You know, we all know Golovkin is set to fight Antonio Thaboxingvoice in October. And I guess Cotto, or I mean, whoever's the winner is a mandatory for Cotto's belt. Do you see Cotto taking the winner of that fight? You know, and that's it, man. I'm out.
All right, bro.
Yo, just mute me. I'm listening.
Yo, I'm not even gonna say Cotto doesn't take it at this fucking point, because I already got so much egg on my face, it's ridiculous, right? So why I'm gonna say that he ain't gonna take it? He might fucking take it, man. You know, he's been showing balls all his fucking career. He might take it. I mean, everybody that I speak to when I ask that question, they all want him not to take it. The bigger fight is with Canelo. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. That rivalry goes back to the beginning of time, damn near. Cotto versus Canelo, man. If Cotto lets go of the fact that he's a star, right, and lets that fight happen in Texas, in a Dallas stadium or something, that shit could be huge. Canelo did what? Wasn't it with Josecito Lopez? He did like 40,000. Was it Lopez? Who did he fight? Who did he fight, man?
Introducing the hard-hitting ringside Robbie.
Ringside. Let me give you direction here. Who did Canelo fight when he did the 40,000 tickets? And guys, I remember some tickets were sold at $10, I believe. Okay, but it doesn't matter. It was 40,000 people there.
He did 40,000 in San Antonio with Austin Trout.
That was with Trout?
Yeah, that was with Trout.
You sure? I don't know. We're gonna have to get that checked.
Because Showtime, because I watched that fight. Showtime was making a big deal out of the fact that a 23-year-old Mexican star sold 40,000 tickets in the Alamo Dome against a more veteran fighter, Austin Trout, and that's when Showtime was really trying to make Canelo out to be, the big thing. And of course, he ended up winning that fight, and then Canelo ended up fighting Mayweather. That was one of the major factors of Mayweather choosing Canelo after that fight.
Robbie, you're like
right.
Driving drunk right now, brother. We know all that. We just wanted to know who he fought in Texas that day.
No,
because
it was
if Cotto just like doesn't, get egotistical and allow like maybe them to do that fight in Dallas Stadium or something, man, and just sell tickets at whatever to fill it, you're gonna make the money regardless. Because how many does the Garden hold? Like, I don't know, man. And how many Mexicans are we going to get in the Garden, I don't know.
If you do it in Texas, in the Dallas Stadium, the maximum that stadium holds is like 105,000. So.
All right, let me get to some callers here. 856, you're live. Who's this?
What up, Ness? It's Chris from Jersey. What's poppin'?
What's good, baby?
Ain't nothing, man. What's going on, Robbie, man? I ain't been on in a minute, man. Been busy and shit. I've been listening to every single show. I ain't been able to get the chance to call. Before I even jump in, man, I just gotta say thank you to you, thank you to the whole squad, man. You fucking doing the damn thing, man. I mean, goddamn, yeah. Show Sunday, a show Tuesday, a show Wednesday, a show Thursday. This shit is crazy. I mean, I'm up in my subscription. I could do it. I tell everybody that fucking listens, man, if you could subscribe, because these motherfuckers, y'all do this shit for the love, man. It ain't like y'all got day jobs and shit. Y'all working stiff like us, and y'all fucking giving us this. Yo, I look more forward to the fucking show than to the fights. Yo, that's real talk. I know it's crazy, but that's the reality of it. Yo, I'm like, I see a fucking show popping up. I'm like, yo, I'm really more excited for that than the fucking fights, just to get with everybody and talk about the sport we love. So, yo, I just got to give you props, man. You know what I mean? So, but to the Jay-Z thing, man, it's fucking great. It's fantastic, because if you look at Jay-Z, man, the dude succeeds at everything he fucking does, and he does it big. You know what I'm saying? Like he's good at everything he fucking does. So he's not jumping into this boxing half-assed. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to get in it. They're going to spend the money. I mean, just look what they did already with this first bid with Quillen. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a fucking great thing. I think it's a good thing for boxing. It's not going to be a 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z is not on that fucking level. He's a big player, man. And I think they're going to change the landscape. So I'm just looking forward to what Rock Nation is going to do. I mean, you just look what they did with the athletes that they got already. I mean, look at the fucking first guy they did, the first deal they did. Look what they did with Robinson Cano. You know what I'm saying? So
what did they do? What did they do? Because I don't follow those sports. So what did they do with Cano?
Yo, Robinson Cano. He, I don't know the exact numbers, but he sent Robinson Cano to Seattle and got that fucking man paid. He got him a stupid contract. If I'll go out on a limb and I say it's probably one of the top 10 contracts in baseball history. I know
actually, it's $240 million over the next 10 years. That's exactly what he did.
That's what I'm saying. So isn't it like one of the top contracts ever in terms of baseball?
That is correct. That is especially with A-Rod being suspended. Robinson Cano is next to Albert Pujols, the two top paid athletes.
Let's reel them in.
That's what I'm
saying.
Let's
reel you guys in. Go with another athlete now, because don't get me stuck on baseball here. What else did he do? With who else?
Well, he's also gotten Victor Cruz of the New York Giants very well paid also.
Yeah, he got Victor Cruz. He got Robinson Cano, and he got like 2 or 3 other dudes. I can't name them off the top of my head.
Kevin Durant?
So right from the beginning.
I don't think he got Kevin Durant his deal. I'm not sure if he got Kevin Durant any kind of contract as of yet. I know Kevin Durant's about to do this Under Armour thing. And I know he signed with him, but I don't think he got him any bread yet. But in the bigger scope, just of sports, not just in sports, everything Jay-Z does is a success. I mean, I would ask anybody to point to a failure in this man's career, and it ain't fucking there.
Yeah, well, the haters could always say the infamous battle that he lost that, but I'm a Jay-Z fan. I always thought he won that battle.
Yeah, I did too. And not even to get into that, because I would always argue everybody talked about Ether. Ether was a whole fucking song. Jay-Z had like a couple bars in one song directed at Nas, and he still, to me, it was still more personal anyway, and he still killed him. But I'm happy about that. But what I wanted to call on, and I'll be quick and I'll be brief, man. It was about last night's show, about Amir fucking Khan. Listen, I just don't know how this guy got fans, man. Look, he got fucking heart. I'll give him that. The guy got fucking heart. But you got a fighter, man, who is in no fucking position to tell anybody anything, man. He's not, Kell Brook chased this motherfucker for years. This is documented, man. It's not like, this is something you could just say or make up, or it's your opinion. And people could say that Kell Brook wasn't on his level or whatnot. Look, he lost the greatest Prescott. He got knocked out. That could have been his comeback fight against Kell Brook. He got beat by Peterson. He could have came back and stepped up and fought Kell Brook. He got knocked out by Danny Garcia. He could have came back and fought Kell Brook. Now Kell Brook got a belt, and all of a sudden he wants to fight. He wants to fight Kell Brook. And the biggest thing with Amir Khan, man, for everybody that says how good he is or whatnot, all I gotta say is one thing about Amir Khan, man. You got a fighter for all his skill, for all how fast he is, who is always. And I mean, you can say this about everybody in boxing, but because it's that kind of sport. But more so Amir Khan, this motherfucker is always a second away from being knocked the fuck out. Period. I don't give a fuck, who he fights. Anybody with a decent amount of power, and that's it. I mean, for you to play those clips that you played, and this motherfucker to be like that he thinks the Pacquiao fight is still there for him, or the Mayweather fight is still there for him, it's just, it makes you just not fucking like the guy. Period. For all the heart in the world that he has, I just don't get it. I can't see how people use logic and think that this guy is on that field, that he can dictate even to a Kell Brook, who just fucking won the strap. He just won a strap. He beat Keith Porter, Sean Porter, who even me, I didn't call the show and make my prediction, but I made my prediction on Twitter. I was there. I thought fucking Porter was going to destroy him. I ain't my pro. That was my pick. I had a 4th round knockout. Only seen Kell Brook fight a couple of times against a couple dudes over there. He really never fought anybody. I thought Porter was going to destroy him. And now he wins, and he wins the belt, and now and Khan wants him right away. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know what it is, man. What is it that people that call and defend this guy, what do they see that I'm not seeing?
I don't know, man. They always say his speed. Look, I give him credit for that heart. No matter what he may say, it don't matter if it pisses me off because he's so arrogant. The heart is of a lion. It's the heart of a lion. The boy is not afraid of anybody. I might be wrong because I got short-term memory, but I don't know. Has he ever said, like, oh, the money's not right? I guess it was only with Kell Brook, right?
Or Alexander, he stalled that, I guess, but that was more so thinking that he was gonna get the Floyd fight. I mean, you know, that would be the only fight you would say.
Look, you can't. I'm not mad at him for missing out on the Alexander fight because he had the opportunity to fight Alexander at 140, and Alexander had that opportunity as well. They didn't make that fight.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I think Alexander. I think Alexander went for Bradley. I don't know. That was so many years ago. I know that was a triangle back then, but it didn't happen. That's the point. But Khan got heart, man. He got heart, but he just gets out of control.
And I've been talking about the Mayweather fight, the Pacquiao fight, which I think are there still for me.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he says this shit, and even in the Collazo fight, man, I understand that this man won every round. I didn't give Collazo a round. I scored it every single round for Amir Khan. But it was still a fight that it looked like when you watched the fight that it was almost like any second Collazo could have knocked him the fuck out. Almost like Amir, he almost looks like he's fucking petrified in there almost. You know what I'm saying? Like Collazo just walking straight towards him, eating every shot, and Amir Khan holding him or pushing him. And then even before that, bro, I mean, Julio Diaz, I don't want to take nothing from him because at one point he was a good fighter, but the guy that Amir Khan just fought and had fucking trouble with, I mean, and then the fans are delusional. I text you, I tweeted you on Twitter, Ness, like the first caller yesterday night is arguing about how good Khan is and diminishing Maidana, and fucking and Khan went life and death with the man. And I think that's maybe my problem. Not only his arrogance, the blind fucking love for this dude from his fans. I think it's just a combination of both of them. But on to Kell Brook too. I don't like that Hearn mentioned Berto and Joselito Lopez neither, because let's be real, Brook is big as fuck, man. How much did he weigh when he fought Porter fight night? It's probably like, hello?
Yeah, Chris, to be honest, I don't remember what he weighed, but I'm gonna just be honest. I don't even care if he fights Joselito or Berto because we never seen this dude. So okay, he beat Porter, but I rated Porter high, right? Who's breathing in here? Because I'm about to cut one of y'all down. Y'all breathing in too heavy. So look, I rated Porter highly, but he also showed that he was one-dimensional right there. So I don't know how high I could rate Brook's win. I know it's a good win, but again, Porter kind of showed there was no level. We got to see Porter again, just like we got to see Brook again. So I'm willing to see Brook with a Joselito or Berto or Rios, because we seen these guys in with good guys. So it's a good barometer fight. Like I don't want him to jump to a super fight. He's not one fight and he's ready for a super fight. And then what happens? Like, we need someone to take over for Mayweather. Like, we got to stop with this craziness sometime, because our sport is dying. So we need stars. And why not build them? Like, he beat Porter. That's a good win. So Hell yeah, go fight a Josecito Lopez or go fight a Bert. You know, it depends who Berto's fighting Stephen Upshaw this time around. Fucking, yo, that's, I'm about to waste money to go to Cincinnati to watch Stephen Upshaw. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fucking hard-working ass dude. That shit gonna cost me an arm and a leg to go all the way over there, and I gotta see Stephen Upshaw. So hell yeah, I'll take Berto versus Brook. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would just say this, man. Again, just like you said, I know what we expected of Porter. You said it. You were right. If Porter had won, we will want Thurman. So if Brook said he would take Thurman right now, he said that's the fight he wanted. I know he got his little issue or whatever, and there's talk about this Roberto Garcia fight. Do you think if Brook said he wanted Thurman and that was the fight he wanted next, you think Heyman would do that fight?
Man, I don't know. I don't know, man. It depends. I mean, look, it's not only us that's high on Thurman. The media is high on Thurman too. Everybody sees what Thurman has. So, and anyway, it doesn't even matter because you heard what Eddie Hearn said already. I told you, I go check Coogan. I don't know how to pronounce his name, Coogan Cassius or something like that.
No, I seen it. I seen it. Yeah, he said Berto Josecito and Rios. Yeah, he said it would be one of those dudes. So, you know,
but
it's all good. I'm glad he won, man. Look, I was going for Porter as new life. I'm glad it's a free agent in there. I'm glad it's a guy that's not, you know, he's not attached to nobody. Because I was with you. Matter of fact, one of my first calls was like bigging up Al Heyman just because of the year they had last year and how he put all his guys in tough. Last year, shit, he was putting Danny in tough forever. And you know, I thought that, you know, it was gonna, you know, he was changing things up and we would see the best fights. And obviously this year we haven't seen that. So I'm glad he won. I'm glad it's a new guy. And anyway, let me go, man. I'm at work. I'm gonna keep listening. Yo, again, big up, man. Everybody subscribe, man. Everybody fucking subscribe. Thank you for doing what you do. And I try and call every chance I can, Sam.
All right, Chris, man. Thank you very much, man. Chris, man, he's one of those guys that's subscribed to the PayPal, man. He donates monthly. He's official, and you know, it's things like that that's gonna make sure I get all the way to fucking Cincinnati. Look, I'm not flying to Cincinnati. I'm a broke dude, you know. This house is serious for me, so I'm driving to Cincinnati. That is gonna be a troop, but I don't get to drive my car. I'm a truck driver during the day, so you know, take out the Camaro. You know, take out the Camaro. You know. So let me see. 301. You're live. Who's this? 301. Talk to us. 301. And I'm looking for a new caller. I want to play this sound bite. What's going on with y'all? 718. You're live. Who's this?
Yo, Ness, man, you forgot my intro, my dude.
Oh, yo. You be having a lot of different numbers, man. You know it's hard.
No, I don't, man. It's the same number right here. 718. It's okay though. But yeah, man. I missed the shows yesterday and the other day. So it's all good that you're not playing it right now. But at the same time, man, did you hear about that Santa Cruz gonna sign with Mayweather and them?
No, I ain't hear that. I was just on the
conference
call
that's
yesterday.
What LB said on, I think it was your interview.
What interview?
He said after that fight, he will be signing the way Mayweather, you know, promotions.
In the conference call yesterday? Because I was on that.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
After that Santa Cruz fight, he gonna be signing to Mayweather promotion. I said, get the man.
Damn.
I was like, wow, man. And then
I gotta go in
here. Go ahead. What you saying?
Oh my God, I can't believe that. I didn't hear that. I'm gonna have to go and listen to it again. It's on the YouTube
channel.
Right,
go listen to it because I was like, huh? I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. So that's what they plan. I said that before. That's what they plan on doing. They fighting bums, and then they're gonna Al Heyman gonna have them sign into Mayweather promotions. I'm telling you. That's the key. That's the whole deal. That's what they're doing.
Well, that's why we got to bank. That's why we got to bank on this Jay-Z thing, because Jay-Z is gonna do this. He's not only gonna make he's not only going to get you paid, right? He's going to make you a brand. He's done it with these other athletes. That at least I read. These people, he's getting them endorsements. So, you know, the fighter, like Manny Pacquiao, for instance, he's endorsed by Hennessy and Nike. They give him commercials, you know, on regular television that casual fans see, or people in general, and they become fans. So when these other fighters that start to sign to Jay-Z, and he does that for them, hopefully,
Jay-Z trying to take this shit to another level, man.
I hope.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, Mayweather and them, I mean, I'm not hating on Mayweather, but I mean, he's not really a businessman to me, man.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
50 said in one of his interviews, man, if he read a Harry Potter one page, he'll donate $750,000 to his charity. If he could read the whole page of Harry Potter.
I seen the video. I seen the video. That was on Instagram.
You see that 50 bucks, the 50 crazy, man.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though. This is the thing, QB. Give him some credit, right? Because remember, when he was in jail, allegedly, I'm going to go off of allegedly, but I heard a lot of this. Anyway, there's plenty of podcasts that talked about it, so you could go listen to it. But allegedly, and I'm going to get to some other calls, but I'm going to break it down for you. So allegedly, there was a letter sent to Floyd telling him to stop dealing with Heyman and all this stuff. And it was from 50 and some other guy. I can't even remember clearly. I'm giving you the gist. Remember, don't take none of this as fact. Go look for it. It's out there. Basically, they wanted him to get away from Heyman, and 50 didn't. I mean, excuse me, Floyd didn't, and instead, that's when he had to break up with 50. So forget all that, and fast forward. You know, QB saying Mayweather ain't a businessman, but think about this. He decided not to break away from Heyman, and how about if they had this elaborate scheme? And if this is true, what he's saying, I was on the call, but again, I'm going to repeat what I said. I'm a truck driver during the day, you know what I'm saying? And don't discredit me because I heard rumors that I think Steve Kim worked for UPS before. So look how great he is. But the point is this. Maybe that was a point when I took my earphones off, dude. I don't know. But if that's true, he was a Golden Boy fighter, and then he became a Heyman signed fighter. Now if he signs to Mayweather, I mean, why wouldn't we assume that more people that work with Al Heyman are going to sign to Mayweather? And if that's, again, so that makes Mayweather a very slick businessman. Because if that's the plan, that's a huge stable, my friend. Huge stable. Let me get here. 817, you're live. Who's this?
This is Big Jones from Texas.
Big Jones, what's up, man?
Man, I just wanted to shout out to that other caller, Chris, man. What he said was so real. A lot of times I do look forward to this more than the fights, and man, I just really want to just give y'all a shout out just to keep doing what y'all doing and just giving us a voice. I have no problem with donating, you know, to something with substance. You know, there's so much bullshit in boxing. It's good just to have something that's just authentic. So big shout out to Chris and big shout out to y'all. But y'all talking about Jay-Z, and I think my perspective is this because I'm a hip hop fan, and I know a lot about Jay-Z, and I've just seen his dealings. The thing that I think he can bring to the sport is a lot of times when you're so immersed in a sport, your perspective is different. But the fact that he's coming from the outside, I think he can have a fresh take and a fresh perspective. And if nothing else, even if down the line he doesn't do exactly what we want him to do, for the short term, it puts the rest of the boxing world on their toes. When he became an agent, a sports agent, you had a lot of other sports agencies and agents who were outraged because they felt like it created an unfair playing field. Because what Jay-Z can do that people in the boxing world can't is he can offer you a level of cachet or a level of relevance that you can't get from just someone who's in the boxing world or a fighter, even a Floyd Mayweather. So I think what his greatest thing, what could possibly be his greatest asset to boxing, is it forces the rest of the game the rest of the boxing game to up their game in a sense. Because they know they can't deal with him in certain aspects. They can't match that. So they're going to have to do more to entice a fighter to sign with them. They're going to have to, they might have to do more. They might have to work with people that they don't want to work with usually just because the threat of Jay-Z. So I think that's, in the short term, what might be the biggest asset to Jay-Z coming into the boxing game. And then just his perspective just on sports agents. I think if he brings that to boxing, he did an interview that I saw, and he talked about pretty much like with agents, for so long they got so comfortable and so used to doing things a certain way. They would make the same phone calls, do the same deals, treat everything as the status quo. You know, but now when someone else comes, like a Jay-Z or something, you're forcing them to dig deep and bring out the best, and you know, they have to work now. They can't just sit around and make the same calls and same contacts. You know, if you look at it, Al Heyman, I'm pretty sure he has his infrastructure set in place. And a lot of these guys, you know, the Bob Arams or whoever's been around for a long time, you know, they probably have their certain contacts that they go to. They probably have their routine. And this forces them to shake that up and maybe search for new ideas where they wouldn't have. So I think that's what Jay-Z offers to the game right now.
Yeah, man. You know, I know a lot about. I've been a Jay-Z fan from like day one, since Reasonable Doubt. You know, I followed it all through that. But you know, the minute he got married and all that, he kind of slowed down. He's still giving us good albums. You know, I won't deny that. But I never got too much into his dealings past that Def Jam deal that he had for like 10 mil. And, you know, back then when I was like a super fan, I read a couple of Forbes that, you know, he was on the top 10 or whatever, top 40, whatever. But I think that it's good, man. Again, like Denise said, and everybody is basically saying the same thing. It's going to shake things up. And hopefully, you know, he continues to do things as big as he's done them. And he brings that into boxing, and it's not on the level of a 50 because that was just too weak. 50 can't entice television networks, but Jay-Z can. I don't know, would he go out and, you know, ask his wife to get involved this way? It's like, yo, you want Beyonce, you got to give me a certain amount of television dates. But he could still sell himself that way. This is still a man that sells out every tour. The Kanye West tour with him sold out, and the one with him and his wife sold out. Like, this is still a dude that's a hot commodity, you know? No other radio station really gets him besides Hot 97. Like, he's not a guy that you've been allowed into his life anyway. Like, you don't know any of his personal dealings. Very few secrets are out there, you know? That's why that whole Solange beating him up in the elevator was huge, you know? We don't get to see things of Jay-Z. So when a person is that secret, he's more wanted. So that could entice television, man. It could entice television. And again, he could package, like, what if he went to like a Channel 5, a Fox? Something that everybody has, goes to a Fox, right? Or whatever channel football is being played these days. And he says, you know, me and my wife are going to give you the television rights to a live concert, but I also need 3 dates to air boxing. I mean, things can work that way. Things can work that way.
Yeah.
We're expecting Mike Jones here. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jones.
Here's another perspective. I think the difference between him and 50 Cent is, you know, if you look just from what we've seen, it feels like 50 Cent jumped into the game a little prematurely, and then you look at his dealings, you know, it almost forced him to be more hands-on than maybe he should have been. You know, if I look at Jay-Z, I think he's smart enough to know that he doesn't know the boxing game as well as others, and that's why he brought in who he did bring in. So that's a good sign right there. But I think also another thing is, I think that not only does Jay-Z, this is where Floyd and him differ, is Floyd is in the business world a monster at making money for himself, and making himself successful. Jay-Z has a history of helping others become successful. You look at Kanye. Even if you look at Beyonce, Beyonce was already successful, but them together took each other to new heights. You know what I'm saying? You look at a lot of people that he's dealt with and a lot of people that he's brought into the game, you know, he has that
made
level of
millionaires,
cachet.
dog. Listen, I know his, that's what I'm telling you. He made everybody millionaires. He made Benny Siegel a millionaire, Cameron a millionaire. He made people millionaires. Memphis Bleak, who albums never went past gold, became a fucking millionaire. Everybody he dealt with had a hit and sold albums. Everybody, even if they only went gold. You know, Cameron's first time going platinum was when he was signed to Rockefeller Records. Believe me, I know that the dude is good at what he does.
Yeah, and you know, I think
listen, hey, Big Jones, let me place you on hold because we got Mike Jones calling in, your cousin. So I got to keep the line open, man. I don't see his number yet, so I guess I do see a 261. Anyway, let me let you go, Jones. Mike Jones, is this you?
It's Mike Jones.
Hey, man, how you doing, brother?
Hey, what's going on?
Thank you for giving us the time to interview you here on the Boxing Voice. And basically, you know, like the title of the show says, man, where have you been?
I've been working out, you know, using my downtime as my prep time, you know, just preparing for my next step.
But it's been 2 years, Mike. What kept you out of the ring so long?
Well, I would have liked to get back in the ring earlier, you know. Me losing the fight didn't keep me out of the ring long. You know, I was over the loss fight for like about 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks, hit me off for 2 weeks, and then I was over. But you know, I wasn't in agreement with, you know, the way things was going. You know, with the negotiations for my next fight. I didn't like the way I was about to get paid, so I didn't take any fight.
Okay, so you just had some contract disputes. Understandable. So have you been sparring in the meantime? Like, how active have you been as a fighter or an athlete in this last 2 years? Like, actually, a better question is, what was your highest that you weighed on your time off?
Say, who was my highest what?
No, what was the highest that you weighed during your time off?
Oh, my weight's been fine. You know, the highest I probably weighed was 156 or 57. You know, I've been doing really good with that. You know, just make it a lifestyle. You know, eating healthy and working out.
Wow, I'm impressed. For 2 years, the highest you've been is 157.
Yeah, actually, it's strange because, you know, during my whole boxing career, I would go up, I would go down. You know, up and down. And then when I had this long layoff, I just stayed, you know, light. You know, because I just wanted to you know, practice good habits, you know, and eat right, eat healthy, you know, because I got diabetes and cancer and stuff like that to run in my family, so I was more conscious about my good health.
Now, Mike, I mean, tell me that you're a boxer and a boxing fan, man. Tell me you've been watching boxing for this past 2 years, because last year was a hell of a year to be a fan.
Yeah, I love boxing. Yep, I watch boxing.
So what was the fight that stuck out the most to you of last year? Because this year has been kind of stale, but last year was a beautiful year.
Well, you gotta give me something there. Last year.
Okay, we had Canelo Mayweather, we had Danny Garcia, Lucas Matisse, we had Rios Alvarado. Oh man, it was a lot last year.
Well, Canelo Mayweather, that was Mayweather. You know, he just outboxed Canelo the whole fight. You know, Lucas Matisse, Danny Garcia, he outbusted Matisse. You know, I didn't see the Alvarado and Brandon Rios. Did I see that?
Well,
yeah, I did. Brandon Rios and Alvarado. Yeah, that was a hell of a fight.
Well, you're still going to be campaigning at welterweight, right?
Welterweight. Yes, sir. Yeah, welterweight. I walk around like 152 pounds, so it only makes sense for me to fight welterweight.
Now, tell me you seen last week's fight. I mean, those are two guys in your division, Sean Porter. I mean, you've been gone so long. Did this thing change? The only same names is Manny Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley, and Juan Manuel Marquez. And, of course, Marcos Maidana has made himself a player. But Guerrero came out of nowhere. Devin Alexander moved up in weight while you've been gone. I mean, Keith Thurman, someone, you know, he came out of nowhere. His first fight out, he wanted to fight Maidana. We got some bad 147-pounders right now. And Cal Brook, he just made himself a player. I mean, what do you think about this new crop of welterweights in your division?
It's awesome, man. But, you know, one thing that all this that's been changing is one thing that never changed and never will change. Boxing is basic, and that's what I did. Took back to the basics. You got a left jab, you got a right cross, you got a left hook, you got an uppercut. You know, and I just went back to the drawing board, brought it back to the basics. You know, and try to study the principles of boxing and stay within those principles and just work off of that. You know, so I'll be good when I get back in there.
Now, how many you know, fights do you think you need to get acclimated back to the division before you start taking on some notable names? And, you know, like, how many do you need? Like 3 fights, you think, to get your feet wet?
I don't know. I just know I just need to get back in there and get active. Right now, and on Saturday, you know, it's time for me to get my feet wet and shake off the ring rust and just be back in the mix.
And listen, I'm a guy that I don't want you to rush. I was high on you. I followed your career from the beginning, dude. I seen you on Broadway Boxing. I've seen all your fights, and I really thought you was gonna beat Belly, and you were doing a good job of that until, you know, things happened. But I followed that whole little beef you had with Berto and everything. Believe me, I'm a fan, so I want you to take your time because I believe you do have those skills, man. You're a good boxer, and you're so big for your weight class. I mean, while you was watching these welterweights pop out of nowhere and fight each other, I mean, what were you thinking? Did you feel like, did you envision yourself matched up next to them?
Yeah, I always envision myself, you know, on the top, you know, beating all of these guys because I know I got it inside of me, and I know the talent that I possess. I know I can beat all of these guys, you know, so that's why I never stopped. You know, I never took a day off. You know, I always training, working on my craft, trying to get better. And time will tell. You know, I believe it shouldn't even take that many fights, you know, to get back. And the way boxing is, you know, you only one great performance away from a title shot. You know, like, I mean, if a guy like Rod Soccer can get a title shot, I can get a title shot if I put on a great performance.
Yo, how you gonna come at your man from Philly like that?
No, but Danny Garcia is a great fighter. I didn't come at him. He's a great fighter. He's one of the best pound for pound. I said if a guy like Rod Soccer can get a title shot, Mike Jones would come back and put on a great performance out there and get a title shot. I mean, it is what it is.
I hear you, man. Now, look, you're on the top-ranked side of things. I mean, that's the only thing that hasn't changed since you've been gone, is that there's still a Cold War, no matter how much they tell us there's not. So that means that your crop of welterweights is Diego Chavez, Brandon Rios, maybe Mark Alvarado if he comes back. You got Juan Manuel Marquez. You got the legends on your sides, that's for sure. So you got, you know, Marquez and Pacquiao, and then you got Bradley. I mean, of course, this Carlos Abregu down there, and I think that's a good fight. Would you be willing to entertain an Abregu fight, you know, clearly in the future before you mix it up with the bigger names?
Most definitely. Most definitely. I would love to fight all of them guys you just named. You know, I'm not looking past Saturday night. You know, I'm fighting a guy in Jamie Herrera, and not only fighting him, I'm fighting my layoff. You know, so I'm going to be fighting ring rust. So I just got to get out there and stay active. You know, and get my feet wet, like you said, and put on a great show.
So now, again, 2 years have gone since you've been here, so a lot of things have taken place in boxing. Do you? And my counterparts on this show, my co-hosts, they're not here today, but they're gonna get mad at me for asking, but I have to. Do you know who Al Heyman is?
Yeah, I know Al Heyman. I don't know him personally, but of course I heard of him.
Okay, because you know, he's definitely doing some things in boxing. When you were here, his presence wasn't this strong, but he's shaking things up, man. I mean, he's getting these fighters paid. But this year, he's not giving us the best fights, man. Luckily, again, you're on the top-ranked side of things where you still got those big paydays. I mean, I remember, and I'm sure you remember, when you got the Bailey fight, it was mentioned that you might get that Pacquiao fight. Do you think that you can get it back together in time to catch Pacquiao before he leaves?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You know, I mean, if a guy like, what's the guy's name? It's who's about to fight Pacquiao right now? Algieri. If he can get a Pacquiao fight, I can get a Pacquiao fight. You know what I mean? I mean, he was just what? He only won great, and it wasn't really that great, but it was a good, solid performance he put against for whatever his name is, the Russian, Ruslan Provatnikov or whatever.
Provatnikov.
He put on a good performance. You know, stood in there, he stood tough. He outboxed the guy post fight, but he won. And he's fighting Pacquiao. So you only want one good performance away from a title shot in this game.
You're so right. You're so right. But talk to me a little bit more about that performance with Algieri, because he's a pure boxer, and that's what you are. You're a boxer. I mean, a lot of people felt like Ruslan should have got the win. I mean, I'm sure you heard what Teddy Atlas said in his rant. I scored it for Algieri because I like boxers. Like I told you, I'm a fan of you. So what did you think as a boxer? Was it a pure boxing performance that he put on?
Yeah, he put on a good boxing performance, but there's a difference between me and Algieri. You know, I got more power than Algieri. I know I do. Like, I mean, I ran away from my power. You know, like even with the belly fight, I never set my feet. You know, I didn't do things correctly. You know, that's why I lost the fight, because I wasn't doing things correctly. You know, I was moving to the right the whole fight. I've never stood there, you know, which you're not supposed to stand in front of a guy, but when you're punching, you got to clench your feet so the guy can feel your power, so the guy can respect you. And I never worked off my jab. I didn't slip the right hand. I didn't dodge the right hand. I just ran away from the right hand. You know, so and I leaned in with my jab over extending my shot. You know, and I got caught. But between me and Algieri, the power is the equalizer. I have devastating power, and I know it. Once I put my feet down and punch, you guys gonna feel it.
Well, you definitely showed us that power in the two Karras fights. You know, while the first one, we really thought you were gonna get him out of there, and you kind of overexerted yourself, but you showed the power in those fights, and you know, I'm pretty sure that you're right. I mean, Algieri only has 7 knockouts, so you're right all around the board. So I guess my last thing is going to be, I mean, to give out your social media. We got to get these new fans, man. We've in 2 years we got new fans, so they got to know who Mike Jones is, man.
Well, you can follow me on Facebook, Mike Jones on Facebook, and you can follow me on Twitter, Boxer Mike Jones.
Well, all right, Mike, man. Thanks for giving us the time, like I said, and you know, I'm gonna have somebody live at that fight covering it for us, and you know, we're gonna definitely continue to follow your career.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Mike Jones, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Jones. Listen, he's a good boxer. Don't get it fucked up. Go watch his fights. He's a good boxer. The Belly fight, man. Listen, Randall Belly fight. He's always gonna be dangerous. Nobody's fighting him right now, is there? I mean, Devin fought him, but you seen how he got past that fight. He had to hold fucking Bailey all night, you know. But, you know, until these referees start influencing these rules, we're going to be stuck with that type of stuff all day. 702, you're live on Box Voice. I think this is my good friend Robert Palmer.
What's up, man? You making fun of me already?
Nah, what are you talking about? You're calling in the glow.
No. The glow is
no, you better glow.
Everyone's had that say already.
Listen. You better gloat, because when I win, I'm going to gloat.
Queen Kong getting it.
Man, I love that stuff. Can you hear my voice right now? It's a little bit hoarse-like. It's still bad from all the chanting and shouting from the weekend.
Yeah, I bet, man. You were live at that fight.
We was giving it big, man. We was having good battle. All the Americans in the crowd was giving us shit before the fight, saying about how Porter's the new Mike Tyson. And then as the fight went on, I was telling them that he's more like the new Jeff Lacey.
Listen, man, I don't know what you mean by that, because he was being held, man.
Come on, what was the result of the poll on Sunday? Ringside Robbie's poll. How many people
doesn't
thought
matter.
it was excessive holding?
It doesn't matter.
How many people didn't?
Listen, someone watched the fight and counted the clinches. Porter was clocked at 140 clinches. I mean, Brook was clocked at 140, and Porter was clocked at 118. It was far too much holding in that fight for anybody to say anything other than that. It was excessive.
Yeah, well, you know, at the end of the day, what was the score of the fight?
The people that are saying that it wasn't excessive,
that's what matters, right?
The people that are saying that it wasn't excessive, it's because they picked Brook, or they're happy to rub it in my face that I was wrong about Porter. But we all know that was a bunch of fucking clinching.
The people that say it wasn't excessive is because they believe that the holding was down to Porter's tactics, that Brook was being forced to hold. Also, there's a difference between illegal holding and, you know, holding which Brook was doing. In some cases, if Porter still got his hands free, that's not illegal. He was still throwing punches, still landing, scoring shots at times when he was in the hold. A lot of those
we don't even have to debate that, Rob. We don't even have to debate that, because I scored at 117, 111. He beat my boy.
I know.
Did it to him. He beat him.
He beat him well. You know, I don't know how. There's some people that still have that fight scored to Porter. I don't see how they could.
There's a lot of people that have it like that.
But you know what? I don't think people that got it wrong. The only people that have to eat crow is people that were saying Brook had no shot and that he was going to get knocked out. If you thought, you know, you just edged Porter and you thought he was going to win, but you thought Brook had a shot, then I don't think you have to eat crow and stuff like that. But it's only when it's people were just looking at it and looked at one Kell Brook fight and thought he ain't got no chance. That's the thing I think people.
No, that's not true, Rob. I watched 4 Kell Brook fights and I thought he had no chance.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about other people that called in the show or that were on Twitter.
Actually, I watched 5
stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not talking about you. I know you watch more boxing than 99% of people. You probably watch more. The thing is, you know what? You probably watch more Kell Brook fights than Ken Porter did.
No.
Yeah, no. That's something. Those guys were a bit too arrogant going into the fight, letting Brook's team watch the sparring. They didn't have a game plan. They underestimated this guy. They should have prepared for Kell Brook.
Listen, they don't train. They don't train to underestimate, man. I mean, look, you could listen to Gabe Montoya's show. He was there during some of the training and not media day training. You listen to that show anyway. I've heard you call in. Listen.
No, I know I listen to that show, but listen, like.
So you know that he trained properly. Brook was just better, man. Brook was just better that night.
There's train. You can do all the push-ups on the moon and in some chamber that all you want to do. But if you don't have a game plan, if you're not focused on your opponent, you're not going to win fights.
No, they had a game. Listen, Rob, it was evident that they had a game plan. The game plan failed. It was evident. You could hear it in the corner, and you could see what Porter was doing. It failed. They didn't expect Kell Brook to be that strong. Listen, this kid has sparred with. He dropped Kirkland in sparring with headgear. He spars with Andrade. This kid is not weak. Brook is clearly just stronger than what we thought. I didn't think he was strong because of what Carson Jones did.
Remember, I said before the fight that Porter's the better athlete and Brook's the better boxer, and it would come down to who's the better in the other aspect. And I think what we saw is that Brook is a better athlete than Porter is a boxer.
It's still, that's why. Listen, Rob, this is why when Chris called in, I think it was Chris or Big Jones that said that they didn't want Brook to fight Josecito Lopez. I know, like 2 days ago, I wanted Brook to just only fight Thurman, but at this point, because this win is so baffling to me, I don't mind seeing him with like Lopez or Berto or Rios, any of those guys, because I need to see more. Because again, Carson Jones pushed him back, so I didn't think he was that strong, and Porter couldn't push him back. Or maybe it was just the fact that he wasn't holding Jones either. Let's be honest, he wasn't holding fucking Jones.
No, that's that maybe there's a degree of that. I'd like to see the Keith Thurman fight. Obviously, I don't think that fight will happen because there's way more potential to make a bigger fight down the line between the two of them. You know how the business goes. And also, I mean, Heyman ain't putting his fighters in with shit right now. He's only putting his...
but
the
this
only
is
time
the thing,
Heyman's
right?
putting his fighters in tough is if there's
This is the thing.
a mandatory.
Hold on, Rob. Hold on. Because you're like the second person that said this today, that said, Thurman next year is a bigger fight, right? But let's be honest, though. Khan next year is the bigger fight. All he got to do is not lose.
But the thing is that if let's say Ness, you are Porter's manager, you are Brook's manager, and you get 25% of everything he makes, and you know that next year he can fight Amir Khan, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and collect upwards of $5 million. Are you going to put him in with Keith Thurman in December and make 20% of $1 million?
No.
No way. No. I think if he fights, I mean, I'd like to see him fight someone. Maybe, I think Josecito Lopez is not a bad fight, but I'd rather he fought somebody that's got momentum. So somebody that's coming off some wins, maybe, just because that'll look better. But, if there's someone like Lopez, I mean, Josecito Lopez wouldn't be the worst world title defense that's ever taken place, Like, I think Josecito Lopez is better than the guy Lamont Peterson fought last week.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Definitely better than Edgar Santana.
Yeah, but hey, it was a good night. You know what? Danny Garcia, he was getting booed hard at the show. I thought it was Adrian Broner when I first heard the booing, because you know how he gets it every show. But it was Garcia, man. People were even throwing stuff at him at the StubHub. Like, they were throwing like beers. People were throwing their beer away because they don't like Danny Garcia that much anymore. It's sad what they've done to him, man.
Yeah, man.
I feel for the guy. I'm kind of like you. I don't blame Danny Garcia like other people. I think it's all Heyman and Espinosa and those guys. Oh, this was a good one. After the fight, all the people were kind of walking away, and Espinosa was there, and I caught his attention, and I said, Steven, can you make Kell Brook versus Rod Salka? He looked so pissed, man.
Oh, man, that was good. You should have did that with your phone.
Yeah, I wish I could have. But you could see like the vein popping in his head, man.
That would have been good.
But
good,
hey,
video.
the Union Jack, the British flag that was in the ring with Kell Brook after the fight in his interviews, that was my flag that Eddie Hearn got me to throw in the ring. He's going to send it back to me signed by Kell Brook, so I'm going to frame that, get like a picture in there. That's a pretty good piece of memorabilia, huh?
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's sweet, because that's the first time a British fighter's beaten an American fighter for a world title in 28 years. So it's some achievement,
What?
Yeah. The last guy was Lloyd
And then you guys get
Lloyd
mad.
Hunnigan.
And then you guys get mad when I call you Euro bums.
You know what? I don't mind it. You know what? I don't mind the Eurobomb thing.
Oh my God!
Yeah, 28
years
when,
is somebody's lifetime.
When Lloyd Hunnigan beat Lloyd Hunnigan beat Donald Curry, and you know what? That would be like the equivalent of Kell Brook beating Floyd Mayweather now, because Donald Curry was like pound for pound #1 back then.
Wow.
He was about to go up in weight and fight Sugar Ray Leonard.
Hey, Rob, let me get to some other people here, man. Thanks for calling in, brother. Congratulations
peace.
on that autograph.
Oh, you got.
That's gonna be sweet.
I got to hear you eat some crow just for me, though.
Okay, that's no problem, man.
Here we go.
I give the public what they want,
Nice
man.
one.
I'm here. I'm always
Enjoy
here when I pick
enjoy
it wrong.
Enjoy the show.
All right, brother. Yeah, man, that was nice of Eddie Hearns to do for him, man. That's see, and that's what the type of stuff they need to be doing.
It's a maniac. It's a maniac. The maniac is running wild like he's never ran before.
Yeah. What's going on, Ness?
Talk to me, baby.
Yeah, man. Well,
Yo,
the guy that was.
Matter of fact, I just want to give you your props. You picked Kell Brook, dude. I can't even believe that you picked Kell Brook, but you seen something, and that's awesome, dude. Because I didn't see that shit, and usually we kind of pick the same a little bit.
It's not even to gloat about it and be like, yeah, you see, the thing is this: when you look at a fighter, right? You look at a fighter like Sean Porter. Now, don't get me wrong, he's no bum. He's very one-dimensional. Look at him. There's not much things he does in the ring. And it showed Saturday. And I've seen that. Now, people, I don't fucking know why, after he destroyed Paulie, act like, oh, my God. I mean, you had people debating that he could beat someone like Thurman. And I said, hell no. And people were going based off of Paulie Malignaggi knockout. Mind you, Khan stopped a better Paulie Malignaggi. Ricky Hatton stopped an even better Paulie Malignaggi than Porter did. Now, it's still something, it was still nice. You know, you don't never see that rare from Paulie, but it's been done to him. He's already over the hill. Porter did what you're supposed to do when you fight Paulie. Do not respect his power. Reason why Khan stopped him, reason why Hampton stopped him, Cotto almost stopped him. You don't respect his power because he doesn't have any. He's a very good boxer, but someone like Porter, there's a big welterweight, knew he could bully him, overpower him, and it worked to a T. Couldn't do that with Brook. You could tell, man, Brook was no slouch. I think we get caught up in the box wreck too much. Who he be? Listen, sometimes that doesn't tell it all, man. Resume doesn't tell it all because who has the better resume? We know Porter did. But we saw Saturday. It's not like Brook barely beat Porter. He beat him pretty convincingly. You know, I know that there's a huge debate whether there was excessive holding or not. Listen, at the end of the day, you could bring that up. But when it was all said and done, who landed the cleaner punches, who slipped more punches, who was the better fighter? It was evident. That was Kell Brook. So regardless if anybody want to twist it, Brook won the fight, man. It's just like, yo, listen, I've been wrong in plenty of fights where it's just like, yo, all right, he won. That's it. That's all I can say. I'm not going to try to justify my pick. Oh, no, he lost, man. Now, Porter, he'll be back. And I want to make that clear that people shouldn't just diss Porter neither, but you can't fucking hype these fighters. Let's see more. Same thing with Kell Brook. Now I'm hearing that he knocks out Pacquiao. There's no way Keith Thurman beats him. You know, now the Kell Brook, now the hype gobblers is coming out for Kell Brook. And, you know, it's like, yo, come on, guys. He had a very good, solid win. But there's a lot of sharks at 147. He's with Eddie Hearn, a promoter that has no issues with any promoters. So we can see Kell Brook with basically any 147-pounder at the welterweight division. So let's just wait and see before we can really crown Kell Brook. It was a solid win for the boy, but let's not get out of hand neither. Now, I understand a lot of the UK fans, they get a lot of shit, especially from you, Ness. You love ripping them. But, you know, they also, some of them, you know, even like the guy that was on before I came on, You know, he was that's that's what I'm fucking talking about. He wasn't saying, oh, Kel Beats. He was just being honest. You know, yeah, I want to see more, you know, but it is a business. And I hate saying that term because it's so fucking political. It's like, you know, it's the only sport that you say that. You don't say that in basketball, well, this is a business. It is a business, but the best has to fight the best. Miami Heat couldn't say, oh, we don't want to play the Spurs. We want to play Oklahoma City. Nah, you had to play the Spurs because they were the best out the West. You was best out the East, and that's how it goes. Unfortunately, in boxing, you got these asshole promoters that are greedy, conniving, backstabbing, and this is why us fans, hardcore fans, who fucking spend hard-earned money, going to fights, booking flight, you know, hotels, you know, whatever, you know, paying for them, we have to deal with, you know, sometimes we have to settle for less, and that's not fair to us. And I know he also said that Garcia got booed. It's kind of fucked up, and I'm going to tell you why. Like I said, I ripped Danny for the soccer fight, and everybody should. But I think a lot of people still bitter over the Lucas Matisse fight. You know, they really thought he was going to lose that fight. This was the fight they was going to able to rub it into Danny's fans and his father. Look, you dickheads. Ah, ha, ha, ah, ha, ha. And Danny gave Lucas that work. And people are still bitter over that. They also bitter over the Herrera decision, which I felt Herrera won. You understand? But now people's calling Danny a cherry picker. Herrera ain't no cherry pick. Trust me, there's not a bunch of 140 pounders that's going to want to jump in the ring with Mauricio. Let's be real. Stop, because it's style. Salka, we know what it is. Let's see who Danny fights next. If he fight another no-name, then you fucking rip him to shreds. I'll be the first one. But I highly doubt it. But, I mean, the fans, you know, they are going to be who they are. That's just what it is, man. But I know you had Mike Jones on. I just want to briefly get to that. Now, you know, Mike Jones, he was a very, you know, he looked like he was a welterweight that was on his way. He was with Top Rank. You know, he might have been on his way to Pacquiao fight until he ran into, you know, Randall Bailey. A fight he was winning until he got knocked out. And you're right, you know, Randall Bailey is a dangerous fighter. I mean, nothing special, but he has that one-hitter quitter. You know, a fighter you could be dominating for the, you know, 11 rounds. He knocks you out in the 12th. The good thing for Mike Jones is that he's in a deep division right now. And the win on Saturday could put his name up there. There's Josecito Lopez. By the way, Ness, is he still with Top Rank?
Yes, sir.
I mean, there's going to be fights for him, man. If he wins and if he looks impressive. I mean, I'm all for more fight, especially at 147. To me, is the deepest and most talented division in boxing. Some people say flyweight. I mean, when you look at 147, I don't know how you argue. Just Mayweather and Pacquiao alone should just say it all. Then you add the likes of a Bradley. You add the likes of a Marquez. You know, Ruslan, Algieri, fucking Rios. You know, Kell Brook, Amir Khan. I mean, the list goes on at what the fuck 147 has, bro. That shit is like Gladiator, boy. That's the Gladiator division right there. It would be good to see them mix and match so we could see more of them fights. But, you know, till then, it's still the deepest division regardless, man. And I can't wait, man. I hope we get to see some good fights to end the year. And, you know, next year, man, hopefully it's a humongous year for boxing.
And, yo, Sean, before you go, dog, like, you from New York City. You from the BX. I mean, what do you think about Jay-Z getting involved in boxing?
Wow, you know, this is, I love it. I love it, you know, whenever there's new players involved in the sport. I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, it's not like the promoters we have now is making it any better. You know, it's always good to have a fresh up, you know, that fresh air, man. And Jay-Z, we saw what, you know, Rock Nation did with the purse bid for the Peter Quillen fight. You know, people felt it was overpriced, but hey, if they're willing to put on the best fights and they're willing to give the fans what they need, then why not? And that's, I mean, the more the merrier. I mean, we see 50. He just put, you know, he put his fighters in tough. They just failed every test, you know. But that's what it is. I mean, you've been to a 50 Cent live card, and I believe you said shit was like a concert. I mean, that's what you said, right? Like the atmosphere was good.
It was like a concert. It was good, but it was still a little venue. That was in Connecticut, and I think that venue only holds like 2,000 or less than 3. But it was a nice event. I ain't gonna front, like, you know. But for me, because, you know, I'm in a city, so it was cool for me. But
yeah.
It was done poorly. Like, even the rap, like, he should have had done a few mic checks as if he was doing a performance, and I guess they just gave him a regular mic, like the announcer gets. So him rapping, the beat coming from a different, it was horrible. It was horrible. That was horrible. But again, the event was good. The DJ was good, and he brought a crowd. I mean, that little venue was really packed. It was nice.
As long as Jay-Z, man, puts his all into it. You know, I don't want these guys to come in and half-ass neither. You know, just go into it, learn the sport, man. And I'm telling you, you know, and this is for the people. They cried that boxing is dead. Why would someone like 50 Cent, why would somebody like Jay-Z invest big-time money into a sport if they feel it's dying? I know I wouldn't, right? Investors don't do that. If you have a business and you want me to invest, and if I feel your business is declining, I mean, I'm not going to invest my money in that. You understand?
Yeah, so, definitely.
You know, so that's just, you know, something to tell people, man. Boxing is alive. It's not where, you know, where we want it to be, but it's not dead, bro. And I mean, I could go on, man. I really don't. But, you know, boxing has, you know, more than ever with the social media. I mean, how many channels carry boxing? That's Unimas, Telemundo, Fox Sports Deportes, Boxing Azteca. I mean, there's like 15 channels that carry boxing. Telemundo's on their 25th anniversary. If boxing was so fucking dead, you think a Spanish channel would keep showing it? The ratings gotta be good. That's what they do. Ratings is good, we keep you on. Ratings is bad, we take you off. It's that simple. That shit ain't rocket science. Look at Friday Night Fights. Oh, ESPN don't care about boxing. They do. I mean, not like college football or NFL, because they get fucking multi-millions. These are big-time American sports. Of course, there's a difference, but they still show it. They still show it love. And then, you know, you got Showtime and HBO, the top dogs in the sport. And boxing ain't going nowhere. Anyway, man, always, Ness, thanks again, bro, for putting me on. You know, James, Habib, I don't know if they on, you know, salute to you guys. I know a lot of the times, you know, usually when I call in, me and you was going at each other, but it's slow, you know, it's slow. So, I mean, we'll have one in time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wish I could argue with you with the Porter Brook thing, but I can't. I'm so fucking wrong, man. I'm still wiping egg off my face.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I guess that's what it is. Let me ask you, man. Any word on the Cotto's next opponent? Did you hear anything out of Top Rank? So I know Vic and Bob Aaron be smoking cohibas and Bob's backyard and shit.
Actually, nah. The only thing I heard from him was from Lou DeBellaside, because I went to Broadway Boxing, so I caught up with him, and you know, he said that, you know, they've kicked it around a little bit, the Andy Lee thing, and when I called Bob, I actually just called Bob like 2 days ago. Or 1 day ago, but I told him I only wanted to talk about the Korobov thing because I wanted to know, you know, I wanted to know his opinion, and he thinks it's a big thing that Jay-Z got involved, and he fully embraces it too. He thinks it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna put the audio. Like I said, the audio is there, but I just haven't made it public because I want fucking Mario to finish the story, man. We gotta put it out, and then I put the audio out. But
yeah, I mean,
it's looking like Andy Lee, man. It's looking like Andy Lee, and I mean, if Golovkin is fighting Rubio, then fuck it, let Cotto fight Andy Lee, right?
I say it. I mean, I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not. I'm not. I'm a huge Cotto fan, but I'm not. All big. But I mean, Andy Lee is a big fighter at 168, and I mean, skill wise, there's really no comparison. Cotto got him on that, but Andy Lee's a big dude, man. He's one of them fighters that late in the fight, man, he could clip Cotto and hurt the boy. So, I mean, I don't know. To be honest, man, I know a lot of people weren't too happy, but I'd rather Timothy Bradley, and I'm gonna tell you why. For one, Bradley and Cotto, they're just about the same size. Bradley can fight at 154.
Don't say that.
All right. How tall is Cotto? 5'8", 5'9"?
I don't even listen, Sean. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm
not gonna go off talking about height.
No.
What's the height?
Yeah, I'm talking about height too, and I'm saying I'm not gonna go off BoxRec's height simply because I've been next to both of them. I've met both of them. I've interviewed both of them. Hell no, Bradley's short as hell next to me, and Cotto is short, but not that short. Man, you can go see Bradley.
He can't be.
I got an interview out there with Bradley, and that nigga, he's probably at my fucking belly button.
All right. I mean, Cotto's full Pacquiao. He's smaller than both of them. My thing is this. People's gonna say Cotto is not. If they get in the ring. If they was to get in the ring, I guarantee the physique of Bradley be more than Cotto's. And you won't see much of a huge difference.
Just listen to this. You did way better saying that Andy Lee is dangerous late because he does have power. We do know that. He's knocked people out. He is a tall dude. He is a technical boxer. So the pass that you had created for Cotto is okay with me. You ain't got to go the step further. The Bradley fight, that's out of control. Bradley's just too small. He's too small. Don't try to make that that's not an even fight. That's too small, especially.
How's that not an even? Hold on, Ness.
Sean,
how's
especially.
Not an even fight? But listen to me. All right.
Let me just say this last point. Especially with the WBC belt on the line. That'll be bullshit. Y'all gave Danny shit. Give Cotto shit then. That's some bullshit.
Hold on. All right. No. Listen. What I'm telling you is this. You cannot, first of all, like I said, Cotto's in no man's land. He's a small 154-pounder. Every fighter he fought at 154, even washed up ass, didn't fight for how many years Mayorga was bigger than him at 154. Yuri Foreman, Devin Rodriguez, Austin Trout, Mayorga. All bigger than him, bro. Obviously, you can see it. Bradley and Cotto in the ring, my man, you don't tell nobody Bradley's a welterweight. I don't want it for the belt. I agree. Not for the middleweight belt. Let it be at 154. Because that shit is corny. I agree. I'll have to rip Team Cotto and Bob for that. If they try to make a Bradley fight for the motherfucking middleweight title, then that just... Bob is just trying to keep that belt over there in top rank. But at 154, I think it's a good fight if Cotto is trying to fight Canelo next. Because Canelo's a technical fighter.
Yo, but Cotto doesn't... Listen, Bradley doesn't have no power at 147. He ain't knocking you out. He keeping you honest. He ain't knocking you out. So why are we going to let Cotto fight him at 154 and then next is Canelo? That ain't even preparation. Canelo punched way harder than fucking Bradley, man. That's a bullshit fight, Sean. Don't back that shit.
But this, no, that's what I'm telling you is this. Look at, I'm talking about the skill set. He got to fighting someone
Bradley
like Bradley,
gets wild, man. Bradley gets
ready
wild.
For anybody.
Bradley gets wild at times and Cotto could capitalize. That's not a... Man, that's You ain't gonna pick Cotto?
In that fight, I'm gonna pick Cotto, but don't sleep on Bradley. This is what I'm telling you. You can't.
I'd rather him fight Andy Lee, because at least he's defending his belt and it's a 160-pounder. Andy Lee did go down to 154 his last fight. So now going back up to 160, that shit might fuck him up. But he used to fight at 160. He fought Chavez. He fought Jesse Brinkley. He fought Brian Vera. He fought McEwen. Let him fight Cotto. He's been fighting 160-pounders all his life. That's a decent middleweight fight at this point, especially only because Golovkin is busy. But Timothy Bradley, that's plucking a name out of a lower division to get a better resume. That's bullshit.
But you telling me now, Ness, and I'm honestly, after I hang up, not ask a couple of callers at 154 who they like in that fight. I guarantee it won't be a landslide for Cotto. I guarantee it won't be.
You know what? If enough people,
I'm just telling you,
if enough people talk about that shit after you hang up, I'm gonna do another show on that shit on another day, maybe like a Tuesday or something.
First of all, you gotta remember, Bob was the one who brought that up. I'm not pulling it out the hat.
But you as a fan, shouldn't let that shit happen. You gave Danny Garcia shit.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm not. What I'm saying, just me. I'm not saying it should happen. I'm just going based on my opinion. I like Bradley has been in there with the top fighters, bro. He's not.
Cotto
that's
do
not
that
an easy
shit.
win for Cotto.
Cotto do that
is
shit.
What I'm telling you.
Cotto do that shit.
But look at Bradley. Hold on. Look at Bradley when he went up to welterweight. The fight when he was at 140, he went up to fight Abregu, right?
Yeah, and Abregu
he went up and
rocked
fought him
him
at 140, and he dominated him. And Abregu
but Abregu almost dropped him. Imagine Cotto. Come on, man. Don't do that.
Bradley almost dropped Abregu, you mean? He almost dropped Abregu in that fight.
Bradley got rocked in that fight, man. Where's Nelta when you need him, man? When Nelta to the
rescue?
rescue?
Watch the fight. I just saw the highlights. He rocked Abregu. Bradley fighting the whole. My team is telling you this. Nash,
I'm not arguing that.
He didn't outclass Abregu, or that was a close fight. Which one was it?
It was he outclassed him, but I'm not arguing that.
Thank you. And Abregu, and he's an awkward fighter at that. And Bradley went up when he was a 140-pounder now against a full-fledged welterweight and dominated him. Is what I'm telling you. It doesn't matter about weight when you're a fucking elite fighter, fam.
It does matter, Sean.
I'm not letting me defend myself. I'm not asking Danny Garcia to fight Cotto, then that's crazy. I'm not asking Adrian Broner. Man, Bradley was walking around like 180 at one time. This dude looked like he fucking broke night at the fucking Melissa House of Cupcakes. He was walking around so big.
Sean, I'm not arguing that he could make the weight. I'm not arguing that none of that. I'm saying when Abregu fought Bradley, doesn't matter if Bradley outclassed him. He was hurt in that fight. You see it.
I need to see. I don't remember him being hurt. I remember him wobbling Abregu. I gotta watch it again. I'll watch the highlights. I'm not saying you're lying. It's been a while. I know he rocked him. Then I say, yo, damn. Because that was the same fight in the post-fight interview, but he called out Pacquiao. He said, Pacquiao, come down, break down this brick wall. I remember that clearly as daylight. That was the fight after because he fought at 147, and that's where Pacquiao was fighting. So he was reaching for that big fight, which he eventually got. Now, Sean, like I said, I feel you. You don't like it, it's fine. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying this fight has to happen. I'm not saying that. I'm not demanding Cotto Bradley. So let's be clear here. I'm saying me, if Bob was to tell me, I'd rather Bradley. Now, people might disagree, fine. I'm just saying for me. I'm not saying demand it if you don't want it. Nah, none of that. None of that is not that crazy. I'm just based on Bradley, his skill set, his skill level as a fighter, him having the history of moving up to one weight class above and doing it. He's already had a couple of fights at 147, so it's not like, oh, he's just new to welterweight. Cotto's not a big junior middleweight to begin with, so it's not like he's going to go up there fight a Canelo, which that's different. If Bradley was going up to fight a Canelo at 54, which he fights at 55, or to go fight a Lara, them motherfuckers are big boys at 154. Cotto is not. He's smaller than every 154-pounder. He's smaller than Boo Boo. He's smaller than Lara. And he's smaller than Kirkland. He's probably fucking even smaller than Glenn Tapia. You understand? He's a small dude. This is the only reason I like it. Now, if Cotto was like Canelo, big for, hell no. I don't want to see that. Because, yeah, one little punch. But Bradley, like I said, knowing him, his style, and you're right, he does get wild. But it's a fight that he could give Cotto hell. I don't think Top Rank does that because of stylistically it's not the best fight for Cotto. I think they are going to go Andy Lee. He's an Irish guy. He an MSG. Big Irish population here. Of course, you add the Puerto Ricans. Big card in December. And I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. So we'll see. Hopefully we get it. So that and the question is, will you be at that fight? December.
What? Cotto Bradley?
No, whoever he fights December 13th.
Yeah, I mean, more than likely, because Vic don't like covering Cotto fights. He'd rather chill with you.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Yo, let me ask one more thing before I get off. The Kovalov B-Hop. Any rumors to where that's going to be? AC seems like the leading candidate, correct?
Kovalov B-Hop. Yeah, it's reported on BoxRec that it's AC, but when we talked to Hopkins the other day, he didn't say that. There's still, I didn't really touch on the venue too much, but off air I did, and they didn't tell me that it was secure.
All right, because I heard the Kovalov's last fight, there was a huge
Hey,
rush.
Sean, I'm going to tell you something funny.
Different.
I'm going to tell you something funny. I'm going to get to some other callers, but if you do a Google search for Mike Jones, boxer, and go to image, your face comes out. But I own you. I own you, though, because under your face, it got Thaboxingvoice.com.
What do you mean?
From that video.
Mike,
from that Cotto video. From that Cotto video. Somehow it's a screenshot.
For Mike Jones?
Yeah, I don't know. It comes up under Mike Jones Boxer under Google Images. But let me get to some other people, man. Go check yourself out on the internet. Robert Ortiz, what's up, brother? Robert Ortiz.
Yeah, you gotta give me a second, dude, to unmute myself. There you go. Can you hear me?
You gotta get out that gym, man.
There you go. Here we are. Better?
All right. Yeah, way better. What's up? Talk to me, brother.
Just chilling right now, having a nice day off, listening to the boxing voice, man, and boogie down Sean, man. That motherfucker's got too many boogies in his head, dude, because Cotto versus Bradley, I get what he's saying, man. It's a good fight. It's not a horrible fight. It's cool. It really is somewhat of an acceptable fight, It's cool. But no, that's the lineal middleweight champion of the world.
Rob, I'm sorry, but before you continue, Robert Palmer says he'll be sending you his shirt size.
No, because he told me that Cal Brook would beat Sean Porter in a boxing match, and we all know that was not the case. We all know that what we saw was a referee illegally rob Sean Porter of a victory, and he let he let fucking Cal Brook hold that place up. It was not cool. I don't like that. There's no holding in boxing. That's illegal. Now.
So wait a minute. What are you saying here? Wait. What are you saying? You're not going to live up to your bet?
Oh, I will because on paper, yes. Well, Sean Porter did lose. So I'm a man of my word. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get him his shirt. He can wear it if he wants, but it won't be an honorable thing. I wouldn't wear it. If I was Robert Palmer, I would be like, you know what, man? You don't have to get me that, dude, because that wasn't fair. I didn't win. I would, if I was Robert Palmer, I would donate that shirt to charity. That's what I would do, you know, because that wasn't right what happened. But, you know, and it's like Beef said on the last show. He goes, he
Whoa.
says, you know, if.
Yo, Rob, hold
What?
on. Breaking news.
What?
Floyd Mayweather just tweeted at 50 Cent. Remember that 50 Cent told him, like, yo, you know, read one page out of Harry Potter and I'll donate $750,000 to a charity, right? And Floyd Mayweather tweeted at him and said, I see you your $750 and raise you $1 million if you can post a video of your son saying he loves you. And I hope you guys at least follow a little of the hip hop world, but 50 and his son have no relationship right now. So that was a low blow.
Wow.
And it's only breaking news. It's only breaking news, people, because that's Floyd Mayweather, and you know, 50 Cent's a promoter. I'm using air quotes for those not watching on YouTube.
Yeah. But you know, it's crazy though, because I feel like those two guys, like, they probably still are friends. They probably stopped wanting to just hang out, and they did have a falling out, but they probably swept it under the rug now. And just every time Floyd needs some sort of Twitter beef to get on before his big fight, 50 hops on there and, you know, instigates, whether it's with Mitch Jackson or whatever it may be. He just gets those little TMZ hits going. So, you know, maybe it's smart. I feel like those two are like friends now or something. But anyways, man, back to my last little spiel about this poor thing, and I'm going to let it die forever. You know, Beeb said, he compared it to basketball. He said, you know, what's the penalty for holding? If in basketball, if you foul, you know, if you don't get disqualified, you don't get ejected from the game. Well, no, not at first. But if you foul someone 6 times or 5 times, you're out. They eject you from the game. That's called fouling out. And that's what Cal Brook did. He held. He did it too much, man. And the thing that I don't understand is I get that, you know, on points, yeah, you have to give it to Cal Brook, but why is everyone happy about that? That's what I don't get. Okay, you don't have to like Sean Porter, but why are you rooting for a guy who resorts to tactics like that? That's to me, I never want to see him fight ever again. I won't even watch him fight Colin. I don't even want to watch him fight Mayweather, because if he wins, it sucks. I never wanted to watch another Klitschko fight. I don't ever want to watch another Andre Ward fight, or unless he's fighting Golovkin. You know, it's just bad. Why would you be happy about that? You should be just as pissed as me and say he shouldn't be doing that. That's illegal. You know, and when he devised his game plan around that sucks. That sucks. You know, if he was hurt and needed to hold, it's worth the point deduction, because at least you're not getting knocked out. So it's worth the point deduction so you can gain your senses and then have another go at it. But it's still illegal, you know. I don't know, man. I don't know. But as far as Jay-Z in the boxing game, I'm with Sean on that. As long as he puts his heart and his effort into it, I'm cool with it. Not just like, you know, be a part-time guy. I'm gonna get in the mix and promote a couple small things or a couple bigger things, but you know, if you're gonna be in it, you got to be in it, man, because you're gonna affect the way everything is presented.
I mean, all we got to do is compare both rappers' first 2 promotions. SMS first promotions was Isvani Gravitz versus Billy Dibb. It was a good fight. Willie Nelson, Chihuahua was on the undercard. It was a good fight. Not on paper, but it ended up being a good fight. The Billy Dibb was a good fight on paper. Ended up being an even better fight. But it was in, you know, I think it was called Manchukuo, Connecticut or something like that. It was in Foxwoods Casino maybe. And I think that Jay-Z with $1.9 million could have bought 7 of those fights.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's definitely putting his money where his mouth is, which is cool, man. The guy's a mogul. But what I'm saying is that it's like the sanctioning bodies, man. Promoters get in, they want to, you know, come.
Get closer to the microphone, brother. You sound really bad.
All right, hold on. Let me take off this thing, man. Maybe you could hear me a little better. Is that any better right there?
Go for it.
All right, yeah, man. What I'm saying is if you can't, like, you think about the sanctioning bodies. Each one of them started out in boxing because they wanted to clean the sport up. They wanted to be the one that was going to do it with honor and do it right. And then they found themselves in a weird position because boxing isn't easy. There's so much other politics besides just their sanctioning bodies that goes into it. But you can't just rank a guy because then he vacates and then he doesn't want to fight this guy, and then you have to not either strip him because he won't fight the number one contender, or, you know, there's just so much shit that goes into it, you know. And each one that comes in to try to replace the old is just making it even more fractured. And that's the same thing with promoters, you know. A promoter can make an event and can make things right, but then now you got Golden Boy and Top Rank, and then are you going to have, you know, Jay-Z's his own thing, and then he won't fight either of them, or he'll fight both of them, and you know, it just depends on what you do. I'm all for, you know, one guy doing everything like Al Heyman, but it only works if he has control of everything, because then he has all the fighters, and eventually he will have to match them together, you know, regardless of the shitty cards he's giving us now. But it doesn't work because it's fractured. It's fractured. He ran out of guys to make fights with, and if he makes them fight and they lose, then he's just out of guys altogether. And that's what happened with Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson, you know. And I just feel like these guys just need to just fucking promote, as far as promoters go, not fighters but fights. That's the way it should be. They really shouldn't be signing guys and building them up and doing all that kind of shit. You just fucking promote a fight, and that's what Jay-Z's doing with his Peter Quillen thing. So that's pretty cool, man. I don't know. I didn't hear the show. What's your take on the whole thing?
Rob,
you there?
I'm gonna have to give you the short version because I can't reiterate all that. But I'm totally for it. I mean, one of the callers called in. I think it was Big Jones, maybe, or Chris. I think it was Chris that said, you know, Jay-Z hasn't failed at anything that he's done. So I don't think that he could fail at this. And me just wishfully thinking, hypothetically, and rubbing on a magic genie lamp, I mean, why can't he just go to networks and say, look, me and my wife are going to do a concert, but I need 3 television dates? Why won't they say yeah? I mean, Jay-Z has always sold out everything he's done. He doesn't do shows. Like, it's events. And it's his tours sell out. He's sold out. I mean, he gets older and he's getting more popular.
Yeah, he does stadiums. He doesn't do arenas, man. He does full-on stadiums.
I mean, remember,
and you're right,
him and
man.
his wife. Him and his wife just sold out that On the Run tour.
That's crazy, man.
Look, and Vic just texted me. Look, Vic just texted me. I guess he's listening. Well, Vic, you hear that I'm listening, that I'm seeing your text. Is this on or off the record here, buddy?
Oh gosh.
Man. Sorry, guys. Vic, you're still listening. Could I at least say allegedly or something like that? Because you just killed them right now. That's not fair. But yeah, go ahead, Rob, until Vic gives me another. Oh, he said, yeah, so allegedly, you know, HBO is behind the Jay-Z bids. Now, again, remember the correlation that I said before with Beyonce's only
Beyonce had
her
an
special
awesome HBO documentary special.
Exactly, and HBO was the only one that had the rights to that. Now, again, remember something else that I alluded to about Jay-Z being so private, just like his wife is very private. Remember, they gave HBO the rights to air their child. Before that point, no one had seen that child. Very few pictures out there, definitely no video. So remember, he can definitely pull an Al Heyman and control the network. That's all I'm saying. Now the question is, will he be Al Heyman of last year or this year? And I think just based on this first purse bid, 1.9, he's kind of looking like Al Heyman getting his fighters paid. But I don't know. We'll see with the promotion. That's what I want to see. I want to see the advertisement. I want to see if Times Square loves their own Jay-Z and they fucking put, you know, the banner of the fight on Times Square, you know? Diddy got a building that faces Times Square. Does he call up Diddy? Do some advertising on Diddy's building? I mean, there's a lot. Times Square is a huge marketing place. And if he can tap into that because of the New York thing,
the good side of it, man, is that Jay-Z is fucking cool. Period.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he can send out a tweet and get, you know, a few more people that wouldn't have paid attention just with a tweet, you know, and that goes a lot farther than, you know, what Bob Barrowkin did. What I like about the idea, you know, and again, I'm a little apprehensive about another guy coming in and breaking things apart and fracturing it even more. But what he can do is really cool, and that, you know, it's good to be optimistic, I guess, about that, because he can do a lot. He can introduce a new way of thinking, you know, like he's revolutionary in that way. He thinks of new things, and that's why he's a mogul, because he's always on top of shit, ahead of the game. Whereas Top Rank is, you know, they've been in the boxing game for a million years, and they kind of know what works, and they're going to market their guys this way, and that's the way it's going to be done. And then Golden Boy, you know, what they've done is they were able to capture the Hispanic audience, and then they spread out and they started getting better and thinking of, you know, if you go to a Golden Boy event compared to a Top Rank event, Golden Boy's events are better. It feels more lively, you know. And then you talk about how you were saying 50 Cent, it feels like you're at a damn concert when you go to his show. You know, now Jay-Z can make it more legit and make it more fun and entertaining and introduce boxing to the urban style, which could always use it more. You know, they have some Broners of the world and stuff, and that's cool, but to help that grow outside of, you know, the Hispanic population, because that's ingrained in boxing. Hispanics love it, and that's just the way it is. But, you know, if you can grow that into other aspects, then, you know, you'll really have something. And hopefully he can do that. Hopefully he does do it a little more than just give it a try and see how it goes. Hopefully he wants to invest in it, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you got to remember the star power too. But I don't want to beat a dead horse, man. We got a lot of topics. I'm gonna keep you on. I need me a wingman, man. Robbie talks over me a lot. Let me wait. Let me get to this caller because he looks like he's calling from long distance. 0111. Who's this? 0111.
Yo, Ness, can you hear me?
Oh, look who it is. The Canadian Bacon. What up, Jose?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? Hey, man, I wanted to call Robert out, man. I'm usually a big fan of his. I usually like what he says. It's always some smart analysis, but him talking about that not even counting as a win is wrong, man. Like, I mean, Porter just fought such an ugly style, man. Like, Brook had no choice but to do that. Like, it's Porter the one that made that fight ugly, not Brook.
No, I don't agree with that, man.
Hold on one moment, because this is so important right here. It is not Porter, and guess what? The numbers are in. Last Saturday, Showtime's card was not a hit. No matter what people may think or what kind of start, Jose with the kids. No matter what people may think and how much they think that that Brook is a star, he's not. They averaged about 514,000 viewers. That's an 11% drop from the network's average of 578,000. Kell Brook's decision over Porter averaged 661,000, a 26% drop from Porter's April show with Paulie Malignaggi, which did 897,000. Okay? And it was all Porter that was bad, because check the numbers. Well, not all Porter. It was definitely the opponents. And again, Brook was the opponent. When I said Porter, that was by accident. It was definitely the opponent. So look, Bika, Durrell, for guys that thought that was a bad fight the first time around or didn't like the referee getting so involved this time around, That one did better. It had a 29% increase. The first time that fight only did 446,000. This time it did 574,000. And of course, Omar Figueroa dropped tremendously because his level of opponent in Daniel Estrada, 37% down in viewership. They only did 341,000. So, Jose, people didn't like the holding.
Well, I didn't say it was a nice fight, man. But, I mean, Porter's the one that, if you look at all Porter's fights, well, I mean, even just look back to his last Paulie fight, man. I mean, he caught Paulie on the inside, but he's always just bull rushing, and it's ugly to watch him fight. I'm not a Brook fan by any means, but I definitely was more impressed by Brook that day than I was by Porter.
Yeah,
Well,
man, but,
you know,
but the issue comes up with it for me though, man, is that you really want to know what actually really ached me about it was the fact that, and honestly, because we have a group text with all the guys involved with the show, and every single person, James, Beeb, Ness, Vic, everybody was like, "Oh God, get this fight over with." When it came to Bika and Darrell, like, gosh, this is ugly. To so much holding and all this bullshit. And then you go to the Porter Brook fight, and they're like, "Oh wow, look at him using that tactical holding." Well, come on, man. That's no. They both the fights sucked. Both of them were ugly. Just because you thought one guy did it smartly doesn't make it right. I never liked B-Hop. I was never on that bandwagon because I thought he got away with way too much shit and not enough actual hitting and slipping. I mean, I'm not saying he's not great, but it's just it's horrible to watch, and that's why there's rules against it. If it was fun and people liked it, they'd watch another sport, or they would have not taken it out of this sport. But it made a rule against it because it makes shit slow and it makes it not exciting, and there's no hit. And that's the whole point of boxing is punches, and that's why you learn to slip and dip. And he bull rushed. Well, you got to learn how to move, and when he gets on the inside, dip and pivot out the way. You don't hold the guy. That's not right, But I burned it up enough about that. I keep repeating myself, man. But I respect your opinion, Jose.
Robert Palmer has been calling you a sore loser, and that your butt hurt for like 20 minutes now.
I am. I really am. But it's all good. I saw it with a friend of mine too, and he hated it, and he said, and he left. Actually, stopped watching. He walked out.
My thing, and then we're gonna switch. Jose, unless you got some dynamite, just let's move on to another subject. But my thing is this.
Okay.
People lying about the holding not being excessive or the holding being tactical. Listen, holding is holding. That's just it. Holding is holding. So, Jose, somebody that doesn't fucking hold is Golovkin. He's fighting Rubio. Is this an okay opponent in your opinion?
No, man, it's a shit opponent again, man. Like, that's just it, man. Like, you bug me always about being a casual fan, but, man, call me casual. I just want to see good fucking fights, man. And Golovkin fighting against Rubio is a garbage fight. Look who Rubio's fought and lost to, right? So, I mean, there's nothing there. That's why when Sean was talking about Cotto versus Bradley, that's at least interesting.
His Skype.
So I mean, at least that's entertaining. It's something different. Like, Timothy Bradley can hold his own. He's got a name. He's been a champion. He can win. Like Rubio's, it's just lame, man. It's a terrible fight.
And and Jose, I kind of agree with it. I get what you're saying, but the problem with Golovkin is he's in a spot where there really is only one guy. If you want to count Quillen, I guess, go ahead, but Cotto's the only guy that's really out there for him, and most people don't think that's that good of a fight either. They think Cotto's going to be too small for him, but he is a lineal champ, so it's a great fight and it's an event in itself. But the other side of it is that who else can Golovkin fight without moving up in weight? He doesn't want to. And my only thought is, and I'm not saying it's a great fight. I'm not making an excuse for it, but what I am saying is, I haven't seen him fight a tough Mexican, at least not since he, came on the HBO airwaves and you know, everyone fell in love with him. I have not seen him fight a Mexican or a slick black fighter. And until you fight one of those two guys, I need to see it to believe it. And he hasn't done that yet. And maybe Rubio doesn't represent the best, but at least he's a change from, you know, 154-pound guys, you know, moving up that are just have a lot of heart in Gabriel Rosado, or, you know, European style fighters or Australian guys. Like, well, at least those two groups are typically on pound for pound list, a Mexican or a slick black fighter, and he hasn't done either. I guess it's not the worst fight in the world in my book.
I mean, I guess, man. I guess all I want to say is I'm just gonna say this last thing and go off, man. I gotta go pretty soon. I never know if I could, you know, call back into the next show or not. First of all, I heard that guide from before, Chris. I think I'm definitely gonna sign up for that subscription, man. I've listened far too long to you guys to not sign up for that. So my apologies for that, but I'm gonna sign up. And second of all, man, I just want to claim Broner as mine. He's my new guy. Everyone's, you know, shitting on him. He's gonna reinvent himself, man. The talent's there, the skill's there, the speed's there, the strength is there, everything's there. And, you know, he's going to make a mockery of the guy he's fighting, but he's back, man, and he's going to be the real deal. So I'm riding with him. That's it, man.
Right.
I'm out.
I hope this is MV Chew, but it might be Ari.
Nah, it's MV Chew. What's up?
With the blood of a Scottish warrior coursing through his veins, this man proclaimed,
I fucking love boxing. Yo, what's happening? I've been listening to Robert Ortiz, and I usually like Robert Ortiz's points, but first of all, Sean Porter was the one initiating all the holding against Kell Brook. If you watch Kell Brook's previous fights, he never holds. He never holds. So why was he choosing to hold against Sean Porter? Because Sean Porter kept on smothering his own work. And it was just one of those fights. And also, I've been getting into a lot of arguments on Twitter because I said that Kell Brook would, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, knock out Manny Pacquiao. I'm gonna double down on this, and I'm gonna say it again. Kell Brook knocks out Manny Pacquiao if they were to ever fight, in my opinion.
You sound like a crazy person.
Delusional.
It's just an opinion.
He's fucking delusional, this guy.
Who was picking Sean Porter to beat Kell Brook out of you two?
Both.
Both of you guys, weren't it? Both of you guys, you fucking got that horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. And you guys are fucking...
MV Chew, listen. MV Chew, let me just ask you a question, please. Please, let me just ask you a serious question. We're two grown men on this show. We're talking like grown men. We know right from wrong. Your guy won. I gave him credit. I scored it a shutout. As a man and a fan of this sport, was he holding or not? It's just that simple.
I wouldn't even say it was a holding. I would say they were both at it. It was like a fucking fridge magnet on a fridge. What else was he meant to do? Was he just going to let Sean Porter headbutt him?
Listen.
You know what I mean? There is no previous history of him doing that.
Yeah. There's no previous history of him being in with a real fighter either. So he had to do that. Look, man, I don't even want to talk about this shit. We gave this subject... We gave this subject 6 hours. We did the post-fight, and then we did the fucking Khan, Brook shit. You're late, MV Chew.
Really, I didn't give him a day of time because I thought, at that time, I was a level above him.
I don't want to talk about Jay-Z. Why are you dedicating Nez, you're my boy, but why are you dedicating a show to Jay-Z? I know it's a slow week in boxing, but...
No, this ain't dedicated to GG. We talking just numerous headlines. We were talking Jay-Z involved in boxing now. We had Mike Jones on for an interview. Nah, we talked the Showtime numbers. I'm just saying I don't want to stay stuck on Brook because, you know, he won. He won. I want to see him next. I even changed my mind from the last show, which I just did Tuesday. Now I don't even care. He doesn't have to fight Thurman. I'm happy with the guys that Eddie Hearn has for him. I'll take a Rios, I'll take a Lopez, and I'll take a Berto. That's fine. I don't want European guys. I don't want that. Don't give me that. Don't give me no fucking Dean. Don't give me that. Don't give me nobody over there. No bumdoo. Fuck a bumdoo. I don't care how good you guys say he is. Till he fights somebody, I don't want to see him.
Oh, come on. You were happy with Rod Salka for Danny Garcia.
Rod Salka has fought over here, man. He was on fucking, he fought for an eliminator for all you guys that keep saying he wasn't ranked or he was ranked 77. Think about that for a minute. How the fuck do you fight for a title eliminator, but then they drop you 77? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. That's why I told you guys in the past to get with us, email us, and we make our own rankings. Fuck these bullshit rankings that people pay to elevate their fighters in. Fuck them belts, fuck all that shit. We know the truth, just like MV2 is in fucking denial. He knows the truth. He knows what he watched. He watched Holden. His man won, but he held. Andre Ward holds all the time. He wins. I'm not taking credit away from him, but he fucking held. Don't act like that's okay, because it's not. Because when Devin Alexander did it to Maidana, it wasn't okay. But now all of a sudden it's fucking okay? No, it's not fair.
Nah,
just like Leo Santa Cruz. Just like Leo Santa Cruz. You guys slaughtered Danny Garcia. Leo Santa Cruz is fighting a 91 ranked fighter. That's worse. That's worse than Salka. Fucking kill Leo Santa Cruz now. Where your guns at?
Your guys' world is changing. You can't call them Eurobums anymore because the Eurobums have risen up. It's like the Planet of the Apes. You still think they're fucking apes that can't talk. Now the apes can fucking risen up and they can talk and they fucking got a fucking nation of their own and they're going to conquer. They're going to fucking conquer. This is just the beginning, man. Wait till you get to see fucking Chris Eubank Jr. and fucking Bradley Saunders and all these guys coming up, man. This is just the beginning.
Well, listen, MV2.
Wait until they all come up.
MV2, well, guess what? Well, you know, I'm happy for you because we had another UK caller and Robert Palmer come in and say that you guys haven't beat a fucking American since 28 years ago. That's a disgrace.
Wait a minute, Joe Calzaghe beat Jeff Lazy.
Well, guess he was wrong. Well, let's put him on. Let's make sure he knows he's wrong or he got to defend himself. Palmer, why would you give us false information on this show?
No, what I said was a British fighter hasn't gone to the US and beaten an American fighter for a world title.
No, Ricky Hatton beat Collazo.
No.
Collazo wasn't no full champion. Get out of here with that bullshit.
For the WBA.
I guess that was some BS facts someone was saying, because, yeah, you're right, Hatton beat Collazo. You know, it was an undefeated fighter. They haven't been an undefeated fighter. There you go.
I know you're trying to say for that magnitude.
You heard the Sky Sports team saying that, right?
Well, I mean, Jim Watt. You know Jim Watt. Jim Watt's from Scotland, but Jim Watt's full of shit. Jim Watt is the worst commentator in boxing. And
man, he was on something. He was on something this week.
No, he saw what was going on.
86 rabbit punches.
He saw what was going on. And look, look. I gotta go. MV2, I know you were on hold long, man. So are you just gonna keep rubbing the Brook thing in, because there's a lot of people here.
Nez, I'm not gonna take up any time.
No. I'm not telling. Listen, I'm not telling you to get off. I'm just saying. Let's just switch into it, because we've been talking about this shit for 2 hours accidentally.
Okay, I just want to make one more point, okay? You said Robert Ortiz. I'm sorry for picking on you, Rob, because I like your calls, but you don't trust Triple G. You don't trust him, do you? You say that you want Triple G to fight a slick American and a Mexican, but these guys don't want to fight him. Canelo doesn't want to fight him. Floyd doesn't want to fight him. Peter Quillen doesn't want to fight him. Peter
Quillen does want to fight him.
No, he doesn't. Come on, don't lie, yes.
Peter Quillen has always called them out. He's always asked for the fight. He's never denied the fight. No time that I've interviewed him, on no video that I got that you've seen me interview Peter Quillen, has he said, I don't want that fight. He never said that. And a day ago, he even told me that this thing with Jay-Z makes that fight even bigger and more possible.
Why is Jay-Z gonna walk Peter Quillen to the ring? Why does that make it bigger? I mean, I just don't get it. These guys are ducking him left
because
and right.
of his affiliation with HBO, my friend.
And Peter Quillen's on Showtime, so how would that work? Peter
That's
Quillen
the
is
point.
playing it safe.
That's the point. Maybe he could walk him not into the ring, across the street to HBO. Remember a bunch of months ago. Listen to me. Remember a bunch of months ago, me and Vic told you guys 2 Golden Boy fighters would fight on HBO this year. We got 1 already. We only need 1 more. Don't forget Bernard's fighting on HBO now.
Man, there's more chance of Al Heyman fucking Peter.
The ice between HBO and Showtime, HBO and Golden Boy, it's clearly been thawing out, man, because I told you that a long time ago that it might be 2 people. And I've been said that Quillen might be one of those.
I'm gonna leave this, but Boogie Down Sean says that some of the UK fans are getting behind Brook. I think the word he said was
hype gobblers. He called you hype gobblers.
I fucking love Boogie Down Sean, but listen, I'm a hype goblin. I fucking love boxing. And I love British fighters, and I think Kell Brook beats everyone but Keith Foreman. And I'll leave it at that.
You're getting it next, boy.
$443, you're live. Who's this?
My name is MC Chu, and I fucking love boxing.
Yo, you got a new number?
Yeah, yo. Yeah, this is my new number, yo. This is my new number.
Man, you on that wire shit out there.
Yeah, man, we gotta switch up, man. You never know when the fans might roll up on us. Hey, man, that dude must be filled up off of Guinness, man. He probably drank Guinness by the gallons, man, because he just don't know what the fuck he talking about. But I want to talk about that what is this dude, Jay-Z? You know, boxing ain't gonna never be. Nobody never gonna say boxing. All these people come into boxing for one reason, is that's to make fucking money. It's like a prostitute. It's like pimping. You pimp out the boxer, and the boxers like the Johns and shit, and we the whores. They sell us shit, and we buy it. And niggas gonna come in the game, pimp out some fucking boxers, and we gonna buy it. We the prostitute, we the Johns, and that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? We fucking whores. Man, I hate to say that, man, but Jay-Z just another pimp. He just another pimp, man. That's all. Cause nobody ain't gonna put their investment. They like say, you know, you got your top bitch. You ain't gonna waste her on nobody unless you gonna try to get the most money out this motherfucker. You gonna try to get the most money out of her, and that's it, man. Nope, that's it. We get a fight. We lucky to get a good fight here and there, man. But these motherfuckers protecting their investments. I'm saying, you following me, nuts?
following you, but his track record indicates differently. Everybody that was signed to Jay-Z, remember, listen, he signed Benny Siegel. Benny Siegel went on to do a movie which did well within the urban community. He actually put 2 of those out, and then he was able to branch off and get an extension and make his own record label, and then bring out all them people from Philadelphia, Skino Sparks, which I used to like, both of them, the little young dudes, Young Gunners, whatever, they all made hits. The bottom line is this: maybe they didn't sell a bunch of records, maybe they didn't have duration in the game, but they all became rich. They all became rich. They was never mistreated, and us as fans of the music, it's not like we didn't like it, because there wasn't an album that...
Yeah, he was pimping them niggas, man. He was giving those niggas $600, $300 a piece to go on tour, yo. With him, yo. Each show, $600, yo. Them niggas had a hit song out. So he do got pimpish ways, man.
Yo,
he do got pimpish ways. He's a pimp, man.
I've seen interviews with young Chris. He never showed that he was not content. Till this day, the only person who garners any hatred towards Jay-Z is Benny Siegel, and Benny Siegel was a millionaire. Benny Siegel dumb. He was the one getting locked up for, still carrying guns and shit. Like, listen, I've been following Jay for a while,
let me say this. Let me say this, Ness. This look, boxing is you dealing with the flesh, man. You dealing with flesh. Boxers are human beings, man. You dealing with flesh, man. So you're gonna try to make as much money off of them as you, because they don't have a long shelf life. You're gonna try to make as much money off of them.
That doesn't mean that because he's trying to make money. Listen, everything is a business. I'm sure he made a lot of money off them records. That doesn't mean that the people that he dealt with weren't content. And it doesn't mean that you as a consumer wasn't jamming them fucking hits.
Nah, man, I listen to jazz. I listen to jazz music, man. I'm a jazz man.
Yo, nobody from any inner city in this world could tell me they ain't fucking listened to a State Property album or at least a Benny Siegel album. Jay-Z's not even a question.
I'd rather ride around listen to Bach and Beethoven than some damn
I'm about to get out of here with you, man. I got too many people on hold for your BS.
All right, now.
Nah, I'm kidding. Well, come on, I can't hang up on you. You calling here every week. How the fuck am I hang up on you?
Yeah, man. I'm a box fan, man. I'm a box. You probably don't know nothing about box. I'm into that European classical music and shit like that, man.
MV2 know about it. That's where he from.
Oh man, that nigga on that Guinness, man. He probably drink Guinness by the gallons, man. But I don't got nothing against him, man. I think he's a funny dude. That's why I always fuck with him and shit. Yeah, but I hope boxing need a prayer, yo, because we always get these crooks that come into the game and fuck it up. And fucking boxing already in bad shape. We don't need nobody making it worse than what the fuck it is. And it's like this. I wanted to ask you, right? I heard Danny Garcia. I heard they supposed to make him fight as mandatory for the WBC. Is that true?
Yeah, they gotta think it's until the 21st or the 12th of September to come to negotiations. So he's either gonna have to fight Victor Postal or vacate. But it doesn't mean that if Heyman hurry up and signs a deal with Lamont Peterson, then the WBC would allow him to fight Peterson, because it's going to be a unification and it'll be a bigger fight. So they'll let him do that. That's the only way he could skip that mandatory. He might as well fight Peterson because, Postal got a good jab.
Let me ask you a question, Ness. I wanted to ask you, right? When how the fuck is Peterson a champion, man? I swore I seen this nigga. I might be seeing things, but I swore I saw this nigga get knocked out on TV.
They fought at 141 catch weight, so the title wouldn't be on the line.
And then the fight before that, I swore this nigga had drugs in his system, and I swore he had drugs in his system. And he still got the belt.
Well, that's the thing. You know, he was able to prove some things. That's why the IBF never stripped him. Wood, let me get to some other people though.
Oh, okay,
only
man.
The WBA, only the WBA stripped him, but not the IBF.
Oh, okay. All right, man. Nice talking to you, Ness. All right.
Yeah, whatever, Wood. Nice talking to you, Ness. Wood is a character. Let me see here. 201, you're live.
I get it from Ohio. What's up, Ness?
What up?
Yo, I got some shit to say. You know, I wasn't able to really comment on the Porter fight last time because I missed it, but I got to watch it, and I just need to say some things about that because it's some serious shit. Now, before I go on and say anything else, first thing is first, and I want to say, as far as Ken Porter is concerned, I know he's a supporter of the show, and you know, I used to train at Wild Card Gym a few years back a little bit, and during the same time that they were there actually, and I just want to start off by saying that no matter what, Ken Porter raised a kid into a good man. Because Sean Porter is a good guy, and he's a good man, and he's got no ego. He can talk to anyone, and that's that. And as far as the trainer is concerned, you know, Sean Porter, everybody he beat because of his physicality, his tenacity, his conditioning, and his will. Because point blank, the kid does not know how to fight. Now, that doesn't mean he's a bad fighter, because he's not. I mean, he did become world champion, but he's not beating these guys because of his fighting skills. He's beating these guys because of, again, his tenacity, his will, his conditioning, his dedication, his toughness, etc., etc. Now, I saw a lot of. He fought such a bad fight, and this is the problem right here. And back in the day, my trainer at the time actually told me this, but I didn't really think much of it because, to be quite frank with you, I didn't even really. I almost didn't know who Sean Porter was at the time because he was still kind of a prospect. But my trainer told me that Ken Porter, even though he's bringing his son to all these gyms, you know, Wild Card, Mayweather Boxing Club, etc., etc., he doesn't really like accepting help from other trainers, including guys like Freddie Roach and anybody else for that matter. He has to be the boss, and he's the one that has to be in control of Sean's career. Now, I think that's a good thing, but at the same time, that's a bad thing. And I'm not saying Ken Porter should leave Sean Porter's camp. I think he should stay. He's his father, and he's the one that brought him to where he is. But I think he should bring someone in as like an assistant and allow that person to make his son better. For example, Sean has to learn how to throw straight, crisp punches. The kid doesn't even know how to throw punches correctly. Like, literally, the kid became a world champion, and he doesn't know how to throw punches correctly. He has to come in with a jab, like Mike Tyson did, with head movement and a nice, crisp, straight jab, and he has to learn how to throw combinations, crisp combinations, because the kid is athletic, and he's explosive, and he's very, very strong. He's extremely strong. And I remember a caller last time mentioned how he has like Sean has like a bad like a body style for that weight. That's complete bullshit. He's just fighting wrong. If I was Sean, I would look at as much Mike Tyson tapes as I can and study his style and try to emulate it to a T. because he has the same body structure for his weight class as Mike Tyson did. He has to get down really low. He has to use his lack of height as his advantage. He has to get down really low, come in with a nice jab and head movement, and when he gets inside, he has to rip the guy with hooks and uppercuts to the body and head. And but the first thing is first, and he has to get his punching form down. And that's all I got to say pretty much.
Can I add a few comments?
Oh, yeah, what's up, man?
Number one, I'm just curious. Now, we all know that Sean Porter looked bad on Saturday, okay? That's obvious. But, Seth, I'm curious to know, would you be saying these things had Sean Porter won the fight on Saturday?
Of course. And you know why? Nets, let me ask you something. I've had so many boxing conversations with you, off air and on air. And how many fucking times have I mentioned Sean Porter?
Not many.
None, actually. I don't even talk about that guy because I've never thought much of him anyway. And if you go back on the podcast and listen to any of my calls, never about Sean Porter. I was never a fan. I think he's a great guy, and I don't think he's a bad fighter. I just think he doesn't know how to fight. But he could still beat a lot of guys because of all his other attributes. But this kid actually has to learn how to fight. He has to learn how to fight because he doesn't know how to fight.
Now, Seth, I wasn't criticizing. I just never heard you talk about a fighter like this, so that's why I asked the question. And I got a question for the entire panel, whoever's on. Now, Al Heyman is Sean Porter's advisor, and he's supposed to be real good at this. Did he put in the contract with Brook that there would be a rematch clause? I've never heard talk about that. Did Sean have one?
No.
That's a good question.
No.
Hello?
Seth, you there?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and Rob, that's actually a good thing that you brought up. I'm actually surprised to hear that he didn't have a rematch clause. That was pretty stupid on Heyman. But moving on, as far as the Jay-Z thing is concerned, I think it's great. And someone on Twitter actually told me about, like, 8 months ago about how, and it was actually around the same exact time where Heyman was signing everybody, when he was going on, like, a signing rampage. And he told me the reason why he thinks Heyman is signing all these guys is because he knows there's a really big player that's going to come into boxing as a manager or a promoter. And I'm guessing this, whoever told me this was I don't want to mention his name, but he was right. He looks to be that he was right, and I guess he was talking about Jay-Z. And I'm thinking that Al Heyman had a feeling that Jay-Z was eventually going to think about coming into the boxing biz, and that's one of the reasons why he probably went on a signing rampage. I mean, I could be wrong, but, you know, I'm just saying.
All right, Sev, I got to get to some other callers, man. We're going to have to go drive-by mode, folks. 503, you're live. Who's this?
Hey, what's up, man? Oregon?
Cannot hear you, Oregon. Cannot hear you. Cannot be on speakerphone. I'm sorry. Hello? 503. Okay, I guess you guys need to remember what I said the last spontaneous show. When you hear Roxanne tell you you're unmuted, you're unmuted. I hear you. Don't worry about it. Just go into your conversation. Drive-by mode, baby. Don't get shot. Go into your conversation, and it's drive-by mode. 647, you're live.
Yeah, what up, Ness? It's T from Toronto. How y'all living?
What's going on, T?
What's up? So we in drive-by mode, so I'm gonna make this quick. With Kell Brook, I don't think Holden was the reason why the views were low. I just think that Kell Brook wasn't known, and that's why the views were low. Saying that, I don't want to see him fight Jose Cito Lopez because I don't think enough people are too keen on Lopez himself. Yeah, he gets in some good fights, but I can't see Lopez being a big enough name to draw a bunch of people out and say, hey, I want to watch Brook fight Lopez. So I would say throw Berto in there He needs a comeback fight. Some people have been waiting on him to get back in the ring to see him. So I would say the Berto first. And then with the whole Jay-Z thing, people are forgetting, like, Jay-Z is one of the reasons why Obama in office. I'm not going to say, like, he's the only reason, but he gets free visits to the White House and all of this. They talk to him, and they call him Mr. Carter in that motherfucker. He's not just no rap mogul. He's just big icon. So to think that he can't make some connections or have a longer reach than some other people do is foolish. So I'm all for the whole Jay-Z thing, man. Another brother making big moves. I mean, why not? It can't hurt boxing, so it's probably going to help it. And the last thing with the Triple G, if it's not Cotto or Quillen, it really don't need to happen. Like, we already know what's going to happen if you put him in there with somebody mediocre. You're going to blast him out the fucking water. So put him in there with Quillen. If you get rid of him, you get rid of him. On to the next one. Put him in there with Cotto. If you get rid of him, even better for him, you'll be an even bigger draw. But to put him in there with somebody light don't make no sense, man. Somebody going to get hurt. You're going to collect the check. We're going to be like, oh, we need to see him fight a big person anyway. Just cut the middleman out, cut the bullshit, and get to some real fight and call it a day. That's just my opinion, brother.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. T from the Toronto, baby. 917. You're live.
Nah, it's all good, man. I know you're in drive-by mode. You know, I got a lot of shit to say, man. After I heard a few callers, man. But just go to the next caller, man. I call next Thursday.
Nah, man. Come on, go ahead.
All right, man. All right. Now, first off, man. Oh man, yo, I think Danny Garcia's gonna bypass that Postal fight, man. I don't think he's gonna fight Peterson. If you look at some of his videos, his recent videos.
Who's this? Antonio, right?
Yeah, it's Antonio.
Why you always got a bad phone connection? Like, you always got bad phone connection. I'm gonna have to get a Verizon commercial soundbite just for you.
Yo, can you hear me?
See? That's Verizon
no, your
right
phone,
there.
Your phone sounds like crap, man.
Yeah, man, I just got a new phone too, man. Are you serious?
It's got a constant beat, but go ahead, man. We're gonna live through it, man. So,
no,
don't give me no
man,
one-star reviews because of Antonio's phone.
No. Honestly, though, do I sound bad? If I do, man, just mute me.
No, it is bad. All right. 818, you're live. 818.
What's up? It's AB. Hey guys.
AB, what up?
So
talk to us.
Just wanted to touch on the I came in a little late. I was hearing you guys talk about the Golovkin. I mean, for first Quillen, I think is gonna face Korobov, so I don't think he's gonna get past Korobov. Honestly, I think Korobov will be Golovkin's toughest fight. The guy was a former world champion in the amateurs, and when he faced Golovkin, Golovkin beat him 19-10 in the amateurs, but skill-wise, Korobov will give Golovkin the most trouble. I still think Golovkin's going to beat him, but obviously I think Golovkin's going to win, but I don't think Quillen's going to get past Korobov. But I don't know, man. I just think, like, we're downplaying all of Golovkin's opposition. It's like Gil was a former unified champ who's never been hurt in any of his fights, has 2 controversial losses. All of a sudden, he's a bum. I hear all these guys calling in, and they're like, well, he's facing tomato cans. He's facing bums. It's like, it doesn't matter who he faces. So who are all these elite fighters, these imaginary fighters? I mean, okay, besides 168, because that's not his division, we got Cotto. Cotto doesn't want to face him, so Golovkin is facing Rubio. And I don't know if you heard, but the WBC president said that if he beats, Golovkin beats Rubio, he'll be Cotto's mandatory.
Yeah,
so
I heard about that.
I think that's the strategy they're trying to go.
I heard about that.
So I think they're pushing for unification. So Solomon dogged Golovkin to face Jermaine Taylor, and then once Golovkin beats Rubio, you know, he's gonna be Cotto's #1 mandatory, and if Cotto at that point will either have to vacate the title or face Golovkin. So then at that point, once Golovkin unifies, you know, I mean, yeah, then there's Quillen, right? Because he's on Showtime. It's going to be Quillen versus Korobov. That's going to be a really interesting fight. I think Jay-Z already won the purse bid, right? So that fight's going to happen.
Well,
did you hear about that?
Yeah, with the Korobov thing, yeah, we've been talking about that all show.
Yeah, well, I came in late, so I didn't hear it. So yeah, I mean, that fight's going to happen, so that's going to be really interesting. But I think Korobov or Quillen, yeah, that would be the best fight for Golovkin. But I mean, other than that, I think a lot of people are downplaying his opposition. I mean, he's faced a lot of top 10 guys. Gil was ranked like #3, former unified champ. So, you know, it's not like he's facing tomato cans. I don't think that's true.
You know, that's arguable. You know, people. Listen, me personally, the Gale win is a good win for me. Gale was a big, you know, part of this show in the very beginning stages. You know, he's got some solid wins. He, you know, and he faced Golovkin. You know, he lost, but there's always going to be one winner and one loser. That's just the way it goes. I will not discredit Gil, though.
Yeah, and then I mean, look, Stevens was a good fighter too. If Stevens is a top 10 middleweight, Stevens fought at 175. The guy fought at 168 and moved down to 160. He's a devastating puncher. So, you know, I mean, he was a solid guy. He was top 10. He was no tomato can. I mean, you put Stevens in there with any 160 pounder, and he's going to give them trouble because of his punching power.
Possibly, yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I just think, like, you know, yeah, big names, Cotto. But I mean, Cotto, you know, he's a 154-pounder. He's not really excited about facing Golovkin. His team is not excited. Freddie Roach contradicted himself. He said Golovkin cherry picks, but then Golovkin's camp called out Cotto. So how is he cherry picking if it's calling out your guy? You know what I mean? So I just think once he unifies, you know, then he can go up to 116. And even at 116, Froch said he doesn't want to face him. There was a quote by Froch. He said that, you know, he doesn't want to, he's not really excited about facing Golovkin. So besides Ward, you know, like I said, Froch is not excited. That was Froch's quote. So I think, you know, all this stuff about elite fighters, I mean, there's not a lot of elite fighters. You got Andre Ward, you got Froch at 116 in another division, and you got Cotto, who's never even beat an elite fighter. Well, Martinez, yeah, he beat Martinez. I guess you can, I don't know if you can consider Martinez an elite fighter at that stage in his career, you know?
Hey, well, caller, we're on drive-by mode, brother. I let you burn, but we got to get to some other callers before they run out of time, and thanks for calling in, okay?
Okay.
816, you're live. Who's this?
This is me. It's the Mad Rapper.
What's up, brother?
I just wanted to call to make a couple of quick points. My first point was concerning the whole fight with Sean Porter and Kell Brook. And I don't want to say I'm a big Sean Porter fan or trying to make excuses, but to me it seems like when you look at Sean Porter and you look at his style and his recent climb to the fame, it looks like as if during the Kell Brook fight especially, it looked like he's basically trying too hard to please the fans. You know, Sean, Showtime, Porter, you know, this is Showtime, you know, I'm coming to knock you out. And when he fought Devin Alexander and Paul Malignaggi, it didn't look like he was cutting himself off to get so close to where he couldn't even land a punch without power. You know, it just seemed like he was trying far too hard. Now, I don't make any excuses. I think if there was a rematch, the same thing would happen. But I just think I just think he tries too hard to please the fans. And I think that was just the wrong way to go about it when you go to the top level opposition. The second point I wanted to make was kind of on the same line as the Sean Porter fight. Everybody wanted to see Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. I remember I had called and said the reason why we had a lot of bad fights this year is because of the upsets. Now, I'm not saying upsets are bad, but, you know, it kind of throws another jink into the system. So, you know, what exactly do we get next? I was supposed to be the big fantasy matchup. Now, we know years ago everybody wanted to see Brandon Rios getting some big fights, and he almost got upset by Agril. It looked like they had handed him that fight. And it just looks like, you know, we kind of had another surprise. But that's all I wanted to say. You have any comment to that?
Well, you know, as a true boxing fan, to me, upsets are good. This one just hurts.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and let you get to some other callers, but thanks for stepping my call, boss. I like the show.
Man, anytime you call, we will answer the call. 443, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Rock fan, never speak to me. This Justice calling from Charm City, though. I just want to say big ups to Boxing Voice, you know, for digging up Mike Jones' bones out the graveyard. I ain't heard from this dude in a minute. You know, I thought he got abducted by aliens or something, man. It's been ages since I heard from that cat. It was a good interview, Ness, you know. But, I just want to say, you know, I feel bad for the Sean Porter. I'm not trying to go back to the old news, but I mean, as far as the upset go, you know, I was really looking forward to Sean Porter being that dude in the welterweight division, man. I did want to see him and Keith Thurman. I wanted to see the matchup with him and Floyd Mayweather. I wouldn't have minded the Sean Porter versus Khan fight. To me, upset's not always good for boxing because once you build these stars up and they get some momentum, you know, it draws a crowd. You know, it has a larger fan base, you know, and I'm not really shocked that the numbers didn't do so well for the fight last weekend. You know, not many people knew who Cal Brook was. This dude really don't fight nobody. You know, the guys he fight, you know, I mean, they're not, I mean, maybe he's big over the UK, but he's not big over here. He's not an international star, so to me it's not good for boxing. I think he might go on a duck, man. I really do. I think he's going to do the same thing that we complain about other guys doing in the sport, though. You know, where he's like 28 years old or something like that. He's still in his prime. When Floyd was around about that age, he was fighting guys like Diego Corrales, a black fighter in his prime. He was fighting Gennaro Hernandez. You know, I mean, he was the man that, you know, I think these guys should be, you know, fighting each other, of course, but you know, I just don't think that Brook is going to be that dude. I think he's going to duck Keith Thurman. I think he's going to probably fight some UK bums. I think he's also, I mean, I don't know. I'm saying too far ahead in the future. But as far as Miguel Cotto versus Tim Bradley, I don't know what y'all was thinking when y'all brought up that shit, man. That shouldn't happen. Not at 154. Maybe if Cotto can squeeze his ass down to 147, but you know, I don't really have much to say, you know, as far as that, man. You know, I'm just listening, but I just had to add my 2 cents on this Cal Brook thing because I do think it's a hype train that's not just going to run into a dead end because he spent half his career, you know, cherry picking. I mean, let's be real. Like you said, who did he fight? His first real challenge was Sean Porter. So now that he has the belt, he's in a position of power where he can choose his, you know, whoever he want to fight next, and they already ducking Thurman already, and that fight should happen. And you know, either Cal Brook versus Thurman or Cal Brook versus Amir Khan. Whether Khan win or lose, I don't care. I'd rather them two. I don't want to see Berto. Berto do not deserve a shot at the welterweight championship, just like you all said. But I don't even know where he's ranked right now at this time. I'm gonna make it quick. Like you said, it'd be disappointing if Amir Khan win, right? If him and Cal Brook fight. But what if Berto win? Does that mean you
90
want to see
seconds.
Floyd Mayweather versus Berto?
Hell no.
You know, that's all I had to say. I ain't really had much to say on this show, man. I'm just listening to.
All right, brother.
Peace.
The Boxing Voice, we don't even have Berto ranked in our rankings because we only go to top 15.
Now let me point out one thing. Blog Talk has changed the way people are notified when they're unmuted. You don't hear the voice
60
anymore. It just
seconds.
beeps. So you got to pay attention. When your line beeps, that means you're on the air. There's no more voice.
Let me get in here and really quick shout out the chat while we're live. We got a new guy here. What is this? All Hearst? Beast Modes, Dave the Sinister, El Dude Boxing Comments, Giving Quality 24/7. Bunch of guys. Hold on. Let me see if I can get all these in before the time runs out. Hayes 90, Jasmine Guy, Jasper Chi, Cam UK. Shout out to Cam, my boy. NRG Pop, Nothing for Something, Scotty 414, Stuart Little, The Return, Zed, and over on the Boxing Voice chat,
10 seconds.
BoxingVoice.com/chat. We got El Dude is here too, Hamanda UK, Big Nick, Antonio from Albany. Who else? I can scroll down. Okay. I was in there. Looks like that's it. Yep, that's it for there. All right, so let's go back to these phone lines. Drive-by mode is still in effect. 347, you're live.
Yeah, how you doing? It's Phil Thrill again. I was a Virgin last caller. Last time I called them, but I think the cherries bust. So I just want to get to like 4 different topics real quick. One, as far as Jay-Z, I have something called the Jay-Z effect, the same way Oprah has the Oprah effect. You endorse something and it takes off. So that's what he does. And just to let you know, he helped Kevin Durant get a bid for Under Armour for $250 million. So things like that is what Jay-Z brings to the table, and I think he's good for boxing. He worked with Al Heyman, who's the Live Nation, and they did tours and made millions. So maybe he can reach across the aisle, or like you said, that's across the street and go to HBO. Number 2, as far as that, I don't want to rehash, but Kell Brook and Porter, I think Porter should have used the peekaboo style and not a rhythmic side-to-side motion, more of a telegraphing and rip the body and hit the head in order to try and back this guy Brook up. And 3, as far as Mike Jones coming back, this is supposed to be a tune-up fight, I think. They're going to see probably the litmus test to see probably where he's at right now since that Randall Bailey knockout, and to see if he has, any cobwebs in the brain. And as far as Triple G goes, I believe Triple G is still a real deal. I was urging Peter Quillen, who I know and have a good relationship with. I was telling him to unify with Sam Solomon, to go for history. And then if he would have had the WBO and the IBF, then he could force either the WBA or the WBC to unify with one of those 3. And my thing is, a lot of these fighters from the Ukraine and all these other areas, it looks like they're staying in the amateurs a little bit too long. So by the time they come out, they're already 28, 30. But by that time, being that Americans, they go pro early at 21. We've been through the wars and things like that. So by the time we're 30, we might not be the same. And then you got these Ukrainians and these guys from these other areas coming out at age 28, 29. They still fresh from beating up a lot of the amateurs. They still fresh. They haven't been in any real wars, or haven't been at any real level like that. So when they come out, they're just running through us. You see what I'm saying? So it looks like there's a kind of a ringer going on with that right there. And that's all I have to say, Ness. I'm out. God bless. Love the Boxing Voice.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And that was a great call, man. Good points. And definitely, you actually stabbed me a little bit with the whole Jay-Z Heyman thing, because I forgot about that. I forgot that Heyman is the reason that fucking Beyonce was on HBO, man. And right now, he is the fucking problem. No one else is the problem but him right now. So this, I don't even know how good this is anymore. I mean, hopefully, Jay was able to make his own relationships, and he don't need to deal with Heyman. 706, you've been granted the pleasure of being the last call. Make it a hot one.
Motherfucking real talk. No.
Real talk. What up?
Motherfucker, I embrace my trademark, fool.
I know, I always forget your intro.
Yeah, man. I didn't get a chance to call in Sunday, man.
and I forgot, and I wanted to talk about the Porter fight. You know, man, you can actually upset a guy, you know, without really taking the belt. You know, if you look at the definition of upset, it means that you beat a guy that you weren't supposed to beat, you know. That's an upset, but it doesn't mean you take the guy's belt or win the fight. Now, I'm not going to criticize Brook for the clinching. I think it was smart. I think it was tactical. But for the same people that, okay, if I'm not going to criticize the clinching, you know, I want the same people to say, you know, look, Porter did land some clean punches, you know, because when I watched it the first time, you know, I watched it on stream, and it was kind of horrible quality, and I saw, you know, I was like, damn, I was like, Brook, man, he fucking dominated. I mean, on stream, it just looked like I was like, God, this guy's gonna beat everybody. But then when I went back and watched it the next day in HD, I seen that Porter did land a lot of good, clean headshots. I don't think he's got as much credit for, because when you're throwing punches from the inside, you know, a lot of times, you know, obviously the punches coming from the outside, you know, from range are always showier. You know, like Floyd Mayweather throwing that overhand right from the outside. You know, those are always showier punches. You know, and you know, I think, like I said, it's the whole story behind all this. You know, it's that now I give Kell Brook props. He did, you know, he fought his game plan. And that's one of the things, you know, the ring generalship, and that's one of the things the judges look at. But I think there's a story behind boxing, and I think the judges and everybody knows, you know, this story. I mean, when you look at what he did to Malignaggi, I think they overhyped him. You know, he beat Alexander, and then he destroyed Malignaggi. And those same people, man, they're talking this shit like, I told you so. You see all these people jumping up from what I told you so. Believe me, I mean, I was excited when Brook won the fight. I was like, yeah, this is good for boxing. But, you know, and I was all over Porter, like, you know, at the time, I was like, man, he ain't that good, you know, as I thought. But I went back and watched it, and I can't take that much away from Porter. And this other guy calling in talking about he ain't got no skills and shit. But obviously, he ain't no damn fighter. And, you know, people talk all that shit like, oh, he ain't no good, he can't fight. He just don't know how to box. I mean, that's easy. Get your ass in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, Porter's got skills. I mean, of course he needs to improve. But, I mean, it's about game plans. He fought a certain game plan and didn't work out. But, you know, like I said, the thing is the whole story behind this thing was he's supposed to go in there and mow down Brook. And I think that's the pressure that we put on him. It made him look like he wasn't doing his game plan. You know, even though I think he landed the same amount of punches, just not a little bit more, and he outworked, and I thought Brook, after watching the second time, I just thought Brook didn't throw enough punches. He was just inactive. You know what I mean? But, I mean, Porter did do some beautiful work, and I don't criticize his clinching at all. But you can't say Porter didn't go in there and land clean headshots, because he did. It's just they're not going to give him credit because he was supposed to kill the guy. You know, he wasn't supposed to do what he did. He was supposed to go in there and murder the guy, and it didn't happen. So that's what an upset is. But it doesn't mean Brook did enough to take the belt. You know, that's why. And I had to watch it a second time to really notice that. So I would, if anything, I would have had it a draw, or I would have had to give it to the champion. But you know, Brook had an outstanding performance. I take nothing away from him. Beautiful boxing skills. I don't know if that inside game's going to work on everybody. I mean, somebody might have an answer for that. I don't know Keith Thurman, but I try to be real about each subject that we talk about. You know, I don't try to say, well, this is my opinion about what happened in the fight, and then I'm going to have a theme on that and run with it, and I'm going to tell lies to make sure that my theme works out. Like a lot of people, once they decided Kell Brook won, because I did listen to the show, they started making them all kind of stuff, you know, like a theme to go with it to make sure that there was some truth and there was some bullshit. Like, I try to address every different issue, you know what I'm saying, separately, and just be honest about it, and then let somebody else make their decision. And that's what I feel. You know, I feel that, you know, truth be told, it probably should have been, you know, Porter probably should have retained his title. You know, and I say retained his title. But yeah, he was he was upset for sure, no doubt about that. But I mean, that's the story, you know, that's the storybook in boxing. That's how it goes. I mean, it's outside the ring and it's inside the ring. So if you don't do as expected, it makes an impact on the judges. But there was a few times that Porter landed clean shots upstairs, you know, to the head. He leaped in and threw hooks and landed a lot, and some clean shots, and the crowd went ooh and ah. So I don't know what people were talking about, but I agree with a lot of things they were saying about Brook. I'm not taking away, like Beeb was saying a lot of things about Brook. I agree with a lot of that, but it doesn't mean that he took the belt. You know, watching it the second time, it doesn't mean he took the belt. You know what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts on that, Ned?
You know, it's really hard to say that he didn't take the belt because I scored at 117, dude. So, 117, 111. So, you know, I just was not happy with the holding. But outside of that, like I said on that show, the thing is this, that it's up to the referee to deduct the point. And since the referee didn't do that, I can't allow my scorecard to reflect anything other than what took place. And what took place, being as though the referee didn't, you know what I'm saying, didn't take points, was an ass whooping.
Yeah, I mean, but I would still say this, that Porter, I thought Porter landed, after watching it again yesterday, I thought Porter landed more cleaner shots than Marcus Maidana did against Floyd. I would say that Porter landed cleaner, you know, more shots than Marcus Maidana did, cleaner against Floyd. I would say that. So if that's any indication that it could have been a draw, you know, maybe. But I mean, like I said, I think that the way that Porter fights is not really. It just, when he lands punches, they don't really look, you know, like, you know, they don't look so flashy, but they're still landing flush. I mean, if it lands flush, I mean, if you take Kell Brook's leverage, you know, like he had more leverage on his shots, it looked flashier. I mean, if you consider that, you know, you could say, Brook won it. But I mean, I think this is a case where you can have it wide for Brook, you can have it wide for Porter because he outworked him, or you can have it a draw. I think it could go different ways, but I think, you know, we're influenced by the publicity leading up into the fight. I think as boxing fans, we're very biased to all that stuff, whether we want to believe it or not, you know, the conscious. But anyway, that's my take, you know.
Hey, well, all right, real talk. Thanks for calling in, brother. 832, you're live. Who's this? 832.
Oh, just listening in.
Okay, no problem, brother. Well, unfortunately, this is the end of the show, and at this time, you know, we like to say our goodbyes and our thank yous. Actually, I'm gonna take this time to read some of these iTunes comments, man, because we got some awesome comments recently.
Can I make a few comments before you go into that?
Robbie.
First of all, I'm happy that Jay-Z is involved. I think it's a good thing for boxing. I'll be interested to see how it turns out. I don't agree with Sean. Sean is a wonderful caller, but his dream of Bradley Cotto, I don't want to see that. Because Bradley cannot make the weight, and Cotto needs to step in the ring with Golovkin. If he can't get the Canelo fight, he needs to fight Golovkin next year. So, but those are my thoughts. Go ahead and read the comments because I'm sure we have good reviews there.
Yeah, man. Well, we got one coming in from Cash519. It's a 5-star review. Title is Feels Like I'm at a Barbershop. The realest boxing podcast out right now. Feels like I'm listening to me and my boys talk boxing. Keep doing your thing. Short and sweet. We got another one by Stan Morin. Title is Jim Lampley's Fight Game has nothing on the Boxing Voice. 5-star review. the best boxing show ever. This is a great show for casual and hardcore boxing fans. It's also great for people who are just getting into boxing. You definitely tell the hosts know the sport very well. But above all else, that makes me keep coming back is the fact that you can definitely tell that they are fans of the sport first. I look forward to hearing you guys all the time and keep up the good work. I definitely want to read this comment because this one means more than anything. This is us righting a wrong, correcting a misconception or whatever issues that we might have had with this original reviewer. And he calls it, I have to eat my crow on this show. I recently rated this show unjustly because of a personal judgment that really didn't justify what this show is about. So here is my revised, unbiased review. The Boxing Voice is truly a addicting boxing show that has made me fall in love with the sport of boxing. The hosts of the show entertain all opinions from the callers that call into the show to voice their opinion. But as a fair warning, I suggest if you ever do call the show, I believe you should have some kind of knowledge about boxing, because any opinion that they deem ridiculous, they will grind you, and the other callers will spit you out. It's an awesome show. Always listen to Nelta, QB, King J, The Maniac, and last but not least, Wood to God. These guys that call in will keep you entertained. Sometimes the banter is too much to handle, and coupled with the fantastic intros, Nestor's the host, Nestor, host in parentheses, sound bites that once you start listening to, you can never get enough of. Well, thank you for that review. There's actually one more that I wanted to read that was totally awesome. I'm not sure where it's at. I'm gonna have to look for it. I don't want to keep you guys in limbo mode.
And I also want to apologize publicly to you, Ness, for talking over you. I didn't realize I was doing that. I'll work on that and do a better job next time.
No need, Robbie. We could definitely have off-air conversations. But, guys, thank you as always. Hey, guys, I just want to send a special thank you to all of you guys that are listening to the Boxing Voice and downloading us on iTunes, rating us 5 stars. We would like you to continue to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at the Boxing Voice, and for anybody interested in writing for the site, you can definitely do so by shooting us an email over at THEBOXINGVOICE@yahoo.com. Address your email to Victor Salazar. He's the editor-in-chief. Send something over so that he can read. If he likes what he reads, you're part of the team. And remember, leave a 5-star review. You're already part of the team. Later, guys. Till next episode.
Thank you for using